What were you saying?
Oh, they're good on pizza, but you gotta wash them first.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Hello.
Boy. So yeah, like somehow getting an expert seems to be the case because at least it does seem like they're leaning us towards an expert. Just don't know if it's that we don't know the expert, if we are the expert, or we need one more like little gate to pass before we can talk to / find an expert.
Yeah, I thought there was something else we were trying to do. Oh, we saw the chemist, and we gave him. Oh, he is the expert. That's right. We gave him the spring mechanism, and we're just waiting for results.
Right.
But we haven't figured out how to pass time or something.
And also, I will eventually need to be able to see it.
Right.
I know you still like loading stuff.
All right, this game. Load buffalo poop.
I'm gonna assume that made sense at the time.
Buffalo chips. It was something that Earcroft said. Buffalo chips are used for fuel in the American West.
Did I actually save anything, or did I close the text editor again, like I keep doing?
Yeah, I never save it. It just exists.
Oh, well, I don't recall. Oh, wait. Buffalo. Oh, jeez.
Hey, Dean.
Hey, Dean.
Is that a buffalo fact?
A Buffalo fact. I am currently so close to Buffalo that the zip code may show up as Buffalo.
Your zip code?
Well, not mine, but...
Do Canadians have a zip code?
We call them postal codes because we are boring.
Oh. Why are they called zip codes?
Oh, crap, that's a good question. Why are they called zip codes? It's an abbreviation of what? Zones.
Zone is postal code?
Zone improvement plan. Oh.
What?
I'm picturing someone trying to deliver mail and saying, screw it, this is all disorganized, we're going to fix it. What are we going to call it? Better than it was. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue. We'll workshop it. All right. All right, so I do have notes, although I don't have buffalo chips written down.
Yeah, so very difficult to find a really decent fish and chips. And then I have buffalo chips are used for fuel in the American West, west of Chelsea, all mothers.
I do have west of Chelsea, all mothers. I also have a series of numbers and I have no idea what the heck it is or why.
You have a series, is it 23 is the 9th prime? Oh, you were looking for the 9th prime, probably.
Oh, we already got past
and
it.
It was 19.
Yeah, well, because they didn't know what a prime was.
They hadn't played Metroid Prime.
I want to play Metroid Dread again.
I want to play that for a first time.
You've still not played Dread?
Nope.
Oh, you should play Dread.
I'll have to get it.
At the very least, you should charge your controllers.
Why?
Or did you play plugged in?
Sometimes? Why?
No, just because I find that like when it comes to like systems I don't use very often, I always let the batteries just completely die.
Oh.
And then it's like, oh, I should do the thing. And then I try to play it. It's like, oh, well, I should have charged this yesterday.
I have my Switch controller plugged in.
Oh, okay.
I also have an 8-bit DO plugged in and an Xbox controller on a charging dock.
You can use a Xbox
Well,
controller on a
no,
Switch.
I'm just
Okay.
listing off all of my controllers.
Oh yeah, you just actually keep yours charged. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really use an Xbox controller just because the button letters confuse me.
Oh, they confuse me too. But I think it. I don't think I've ever gotten used to many other controllers.
But you know what's annoying is I just to make sure it worked. Um, I just briefly started Dark Souls 3,
mhm.
and it keeps showing Xbox like button names, even though I'm using like mouse and keyboard.
Oh,
Why don't you tell me what to actually press?
oh, yeah. I had to actually download a mod for Final Fantasy VIII to see the right buttons.
Oh, it's funny you say that because man, I think it was Blood Dragon that I was trying to play with the controller. I was like, why are you showing me Xbox buttons? I think I was able to find, or maybe I think Oblivion.
Yeah. Because if you remember, I was seeing nothing but like B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7, B8, B9, B10, B11, B12. I'm
I
like, what?
forgot about that part.
What
Yeah.
does this mean?
Huh. Yeah, honestly, it's probably overly ambitious and unreasonable, but I kind of wish that either game engines or even better yet, operating systems would add a layer of like visual abstraction for button symbols. So that it would just be completely agnostic within the game what kind of
No.
controller you're using.
Or maybe
I'm
we
sure there's
could
lots
just
of
standardize controller buttons.
or you know what? Even though I'm used to specifically Nintendo scheme, has anyone ever had a problem with triangle, square, circle X?
I actually hadn't had a problem. It took me maybe just a minute to get used to PlayStation buttons.
Because it's not like it's conflicting; it's just different. And
It's,
it's
yeah,
long as
exactly.
yeah. So like everything should just be PlayStation then. I'd be okay with that.
Or everything should just be what I learned first.
Well, yeah, I mean, fair, that'd be Nintendo. Um, but like I'd be okay with something that just isn't like the opposite of what I'm used to.
Yeah. There isn't like a piece of mail or something sitting around that. Uh,
Probably not, but that is a good thought.
I think we're supposed to find something else to advance time in order to get the results from the test of the spring from the chemist.
As goofy as it sounds, oh yeah, I wonder if the newspaper then, because I was just gonna say
Oh,
a newspaper would be like,
like we just sit here and read until something happens. Oh, I would hate the game so much if that's the answer. But frustration. What's the point? This battle has been lost.
yeah, this just remind me I gotta clean up my office. Got so many old tests and stuff around.
When you use your PS4 controller on PC, it assumes it's Xbox. It doesn't usually matter, but the X button is tough. Yeah, two different kinds of X's.
When you use a PS4 controller on a PC, like on a Windows PC, does it use a touchpad as a mouse?
I have no idea. I haven't used a PlayStation controller in forever. Probably since like PlayStation 2. That's the last PlayStation I had. And the only reason I had PlayStation 2 is because I wanted to play DDR with it.
Yeah.
And a
Uh,
couple Final Fantasies in addition.
PS2 had some, well, besides Snake Eater, had some really good Gundam games on it. And better yet, they were all different from each other. It wasn't just like multiple copies of basically the same things as cash grabs.
Mm.
Yes, more or less what I was wondering, Dean, because like I know it can because of hooking one up to like a Raspberry Pi, but I think it was just to get it working at all using weird software. Also, I think Linux counts as weird software in and of itself.
So we know there are people playing billiards in the next room,
Which is so weird.
and we can't go in. And it sounded like there was the possibility that we could challenge Jenkins to billiards.
Hmm.
I meant to type, or not type, but click talk.
Also, are billiards balls actually made, or well, not now, but were they actually made of ivory? Or are these being ivory in the sense of like, well, no, you can't hear the color. Huh.
Huh.
Well, I was gonna say, or just referring to like, being white, but then it occurred to me like you're listening to them, so.
Oh. So he's got a blue stain and powder on his trousers.
What?
It's hinting that he plays billiards, I think.
Oh, right.
Why can't we speak to Lord Lawton, Professor Layton?
Oh, yes, some of them were made out of wood and ivory.
He's not at home.
Although now the phenolic resin, polyester resin, and epoxy resin.
You mean we don't make them out of ivory anymore? Why not?
I think a lot of trackballs are made out of phenolic resin. It's neat stuff. No idea what it is.
Yeah, we can knock on the door, but I don't think it did anything before. Business card on which the usual data is engraved may serve as to aid to memory reluctant with disaster. But I want you to give. Did I try this before?
We've tried it with other people, but I don't think we've
Oh,
done it
he
with
will
him.
take it. I wonder, did we give him one before? Can we give him another one? Okay, we did something. Effie.
Okay. Iffy.
Yeah, if we knock, it doesn't do anything, I think.
I think you remember though, Fee, is like, yes, there's the label, but there's also like, where would it make sense for it to be? The things that would be the X button on Xbox would not make sense to press the X button on or the cross button on a PlayStation. It just would feel weird.
Mm-hmm. All right, we've got new dialogue now that we gave him a card.
Yeah.
If I was offensively abrupt, I apologize. This is not this not a social call. I'm not surprised. Few come here for pleasure anymore. Please inform his lordship that Dr. Watson and I would be grateful for a discreet word. We have critical matter to discuss with him. We have critical matter to discuss with him. Very well, Mr. Holmes. I'll see if he's at home.
Oh, wow.
All right, that was it. Just giving Jenkins a card made something happen. Can we listen?
It'd be hilarious. He opens the door with us leaning against it.
Dissonant music and the distinctive click of ivory billiard balls are audible still. Open. Let me in. Okay. Well, something happened. Yeah, 8-Bit Do does have the Super Nintendo layout. They also have additional little handles and more trigger buttons.
I hate that they changed their controllers.
You mean like change from the original like Super Nintendo?
Well, the buttons.
Oh yeah, and they have the sticks.
They used to have 2 convex and 2 concave. Now it's just all convex. Because like it used to be like the old Super
Yeah,
Nintendo controllers.
yeah.
Which
I've got
has,
the old one.
Yeah, I got one too. I didn't know it was
I
gonna
didn't know they
matter,
did that.
but actually when I was getting it, told me to get the one with the convex on it. The said concave. It's like, well, okay, I do what I'm told. It's like, oh yeah, she always knows best.
Yeah, I've got the 2 concave, 2 convex.
Just feels nicer.
Mm-hmm. I also have like some just basic Super Nintendo controllers that have USB. I mean, they're not like Nintendo made, but they're basically like, they feel exactly like Super Nintendo controllers.
I didn't know third parties could like get the feel right.
I mean, it's probably not like exactly perfect, but it's like close enough.
Yeah, but like compared to, I'm assuming you used a back in the day like Mad Cats or whatever of third party controller.
Oh,
And
Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, Malid. Malid? Malid? Huh? Yeah, I remember growing up and getting like the occasional Mad Cats or something and being like, this just doesn't feel as good.
well, it just straight up didn't work.
Or yeah, they just straight up wouldn't work. Or they'd break. Sounds like Vulcan. My position requires further reflection. Billiards is fascinating, don't you think? Yeah, very fascinating. Can we move on? What is happening? Watson, are we waiting on you? Okay. Built at the Edison Works in America some years ago, this early gramophone poorly reproduces music that has been poorly recorded on tin cylinders. I remember having a Nintendo 64 one. Edison sucks. Yeah. I had a Nintendo 64 one that didn't have the 2 side handles. It just had like the middle handle.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Weird.
And it was weird too because it had like these little like these stupid little colorful like tiny plate things that like a tiny part of the top center came out and you could replace it with. Like, why?
Mind you, there was a time when even Nintendo's like alternate controllers could just be absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I never had them, but like the atomic colors were kind of cool.
I'm not familiar with this.
Like the atomic purple and the atomic green controllers, like the clear
yeah,
green and purple. There might have been an orange one as well, I don't remember. I just had some basic ones. I had a red orange one and a gray one. At my brother's request, I'm looking into the disappearance of the formula from the ministry. I really liked GameCube controllers. Those were nice.
I like the Wavebird.
Yeah, the Wavebird. I had a couple of those. Did I have a couple? I think I had 2. And as a courtesy to your brother, I interrupt my leisure to receive you, but you abuse civility. The committee eventually judged that so-called disappearance to be unworthy of our attention. Evidently not dissuaded by our good sense, you come here to waste my time. I could understand if after investigation and due deliberation you had concluded that nothing untoward had occurred, but such was not the case. Why was the inquiry so precipitously and inconclusively terminated? I'm trying to remember who this guy is. I won't be cross-questioned by you, Mr. Holmes, on this or any other subject. Lord Lawton, why... Oh, he's one of the friends of Mycroft. There were like 3 buddies of Mycroft from the buddy club. I can't remember anything. And so they all kind of knew something, maybe about what happened, like who might have made the bomb. Are you aware that Mycroft has been injured in an explosion? I'm sorry, but that's hardly my affair. I think an attempt was made on his life. The blast was related to the disappearance of the formula. It's the nature of your business to think so, isn't it? Conspiracy theories are mother's milk to the consulting detective. Are you purposely offensive or merely obdurate? It is not my intention to be either, but if I am, it does not concern me. You have no position, no standing, and no authority. Do you recall that gouty old fellow in Hampshire, Watson? Kept gerbils. I do, Holmes. His affliction was so advanced, we swore he could chalk his cue with his knuckles. Very economical, I suppose. We know Lawton doesn't want to talk. We don't know why. An accurate, though not particularly helpful observation. Has the subject closed his mouth? He may be more forthcoming on less volatile topics. Besides which fork to use with the fish course? A touch, Watson. A distinct touch, for all his information may be worth. We can look at stuff. A coal fire barely warms the granite fireplace in which it burns. The grate is nearly choked with debris. A few familiar knickknacks and 2 silver-framed silhouettes are strewn on the mantel. Are they? I don't see it.
They're camouflaged.
Oh. The subject's resemblance to the other male portraits in the house mark this worthy as a Lawton. However, his informal clothes, laughing eyes, and twisted lip give the impression of a country outlaw. He may have been both. Whist table. Whistable. If the burns which pock and mar the oak wood surface of this old-style whist table are any indication, more than the immediate Lawton family played long rubbers here.
What?
Oh, you know, long rubbers. The game. No more questions. Built-in bookcases surround the fireplace. The library appears to be a conventional collection of classics from the history of Western civilization. All volumes appear to have been printed by the same publisher. Touch the books. Yep, they're books, all right. The books are papier-mâché models of same cleverly positioned for verisimilitude. What became of the real books that stood here? Lord Lawton cares about books, but not so much that he needs to keep the real article. I think he just wants to look book smart. Rubber is a bridge, the card game thing. Now I forget what whist is. The quote-unquote books are all one piece and cannot be removed. Are these all the same? Disparate posings cannot conceal the fact that these 2 persons are Lawtons. Their clothing suggests that they are too old to be siblings of the present lord, but maybe his aunt and uncle. Ugh. Okay. An enormous billiard table with beautifully lathed mahogany legs dominates the room. The master builders at Braunschweig of Dusseldorf have used a single piece of felt-covered slate for the playing surface to ensure a true roll. He should confess everything due to the shame of having a bookshelf of fake books. Yeah, it's kind of weird. We can move the pool table and interrupt his game. It should have been obvious the table cannot be shifted by a mere mortal. The elephant that supplied the ivory for the billiard balls would have had difficulty moving it. Yeah, considering it's dead. Probably.
Hopefully.
Oh, I mean, an elephant can live without its ivory. it shouldn't have to. Oh, that's my cue. 4 tapered, leather-tipped sticks stand in a rack. They are presumably intended for Lord Lawton's guests. Did you groan or something?
No. No, I'm trying to call that. Yes.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's been called. To avoid the dreaded miscue, an experienced player rubs the small cube of royal blue chalk against the leather tip of his cue before attempting a shot. Whist became bridge. I don't know how to play either. I think are we done here? Oh, what are these little drawers? Are those anything? Guess I can't look now. Can we just walk right in? No. All right, we're done here. Maybe now we get the results.
Maybe. If not, we should go back to the other places with and talk to various butlers, butleys, etc.
Buttresses.
Ah, yes. I always forget about that one.
Ugh. Oh, goody. Knock, knock. Come in, Mrs. Hudson. It's from the yard, Watson. Listen. A body pulled from the Thames at the Needle is not the usual type. Conventional identification impossible. Ticket stubs from the Whitehall line suggest a civil servant. As you aren't currently engaged, you might find it diverting. I would welcome your assistance. Respectively, G. Lestrade. Very civil of him. He wants your help. Well, we won't throw it away. Keep it for a rainy day, but I have other fish to fry. Actually, we don't have other fish at the moment. Maybe we should go check that out. That a corpse has eclipsed the imagination of Scotland Yard is hardly remarkable. Have you deduced the cause of death? Was it murder, misadventure, or natural causes? Suicide, I shouldn't wonder. The body is obviously unrecognizable, perhaps from being submerged. We haven't even seen it yet. How do we know? Might we solve the mystery for him? Lestrade evidently thinks so. On the other hand, he may simply be trying to occupy me. His idea of kindness. A kind thought must count for something. You have a more generous disposition than I, Watson. What does your intuition tell you about our next move? Nothing, but cold reason suggests we should investigate Lestrade's nameless corpse. What makes you say so? Prudence. Lestrade is holding out an olive branch. Take it. He wants no animosity between you. Besides, he could compromise the confidentiality of your inquiries were he to get wind of them. He will be less interested in what you are doing if he thinks you are occupied on his behalf. Your reasoning is sound, Watson, but I don't think I'm available to his inducements. My lack of progress is obvious, Watson. Do you have a recommendation? Lestrade's nameless corpse still needs investigating. Ah, that. But I would prefer not to be distracted at present. Do you have a compelling reason? Statement. Seeking information from people that won't talk and at present can't be coerced to do so is frustrating, debilitating, and discouraging. We've had enough of that. My previous behavior notwithstanding, I'm not a child. I can handle adversity, Watson. Failure is not an option. Excuse me, Holmes. I meant to imply nothing beyond our need for a taste of success. Lestrade's often been an unwitting ally to your own purposes. You can deflect unwanted attention from our activities while storing up some goodwill. We may need him later. Oh, I'm sorry, Fee. I just forgot that I didn't answer your question about my presentation. I'll get to that in a minute. As always, Watson, your advice is faultless. The question is, do I have the wit to follow it? Yeah, Watson is here for us. Yeah, the presentation went well. They really stressed me out, especially leading up to them, but they usually end up going okay. What are you doing? Oh.
Oh, are we okay?
Maisie was playing with a cockroach.
Oh,
It got away. Not an infestation. It's just Florida. It's from
I'm
outside.
assuming those are safe for cats, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're generally safe. You find the occasional dead one. It's been murdered by a cat. Where'd it
Or
go?
by another cockroach who's trying to implicate the cat.
Mmm. It's a big one. We have big ones. Have we neglected assistance from any quarter, Watson? Is that a question? I don't believe you fully exploited your journalistic connection. I know you value his knowledge and connections. It may be time to pay him another visit. Who's him? Oh, it's a space between quote and ad for the one I use.
Honestly, usually if I'm adding a quote, it's just for the joke of adding the quote.
Oh. Well, I want quotes to be added still.
Oh, fine.
It's only number 14.
How many quotes? What sorts of things do we have?
Three to 4 inches? Not that big.
This sounds like me, but I don't think I've ever said this.
You can't prove it.
I can't. Well, I could prove it, but I'm too lazy to prove it.
You can't prove that you didn't say that?
Technically, I could. I could find whatever quote 9 is. What? Who put these? What are all? What? What?
I don't remember any of these either. That's what's so great about it.
I mean, that just goes without saying. These quotes are weird.
I like it. What about I think it's like quote 2.
Did that make sense at the time?
It's from Toonstruck, I think. The bowling.
Just because that was 2, I'm just curious what the heck is quote 1. Ah.
I just noticed that these don't appear in the box above me.
Yeah, it's pretty common for those things to ignore bots.
Yeah. Cleopatra's Needle.
What the heck is Cleopatra's Needle?
Nearly 70 feet high, this red granite obelisk was erected in Heliopolis by Thutmose III in 1475 BC. In the decades since it came to London, its intriguing hieroglyph inscriptions have suffered corrosive damage from pollution. Oh, it's just something the British took from Egypt.
Well, I mean, if it was erected in the 1400s, that's just weird in of itself.
BC.
Oh, I did not know it was a BC. Okay, yeah.
British Columbia.
I feel like that didn't exist then, but like...
Exist when?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, no matter what, it wouldn't.
The lamps are always lit on this side of the river, set low in sunlight, high in the evening or when the fog thickens. Fine iron casting is the hallmark of the lamps and benches along this portion of the embankment. Hey, look, they also took the Sphinx.
Is that vertical thing towards the bottom?
Yeah, it's like a gaff hook. It's for pulling corpses out of the water.
Mm.
Completed in 1870, the Victoria Embankment extends from the Houses of Parliament to the city. It is made of solid granite and holds back the wildly fluctuating tides from the Thames left bank. What is... I guess it's nothing. Police Constable Roach. Speaking of roaches. She's still looking for it. She was going nuts a minute ago. PC Roach is unimaginative, obsessed with trivial coincidence, and not beyond bullying under the color of authority. He is, furthermore, an overly ambitious blowhard and dimwit. Constable is Sherlock Holmes. I'd like to survey the scene. There's a murder inquiry hereabouts. You know Inspector Lestrade don't tolerate intruders at our investigations. He told us to come here. You just give him the piece of paper that says permission on it. He won't read the rest.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Oh, we had the telegram. You can read, can't you, Roach? Lestrade has requested my assistance. No need to be snide, Mr. Holmes. I'm just following orders. Following orders, the last refuge of the immoral and the inept. What's that? Your predilections notwithstanding, I will examine the scene, Constable. I will examine the scene, Constable. He's a scene kid. I don't like interference, Mr. Holmes. I'll be keeping an eye on you. Might try to make me look bad. That wouldn't be difficult, but I have better things to do. I'm sure Lestrade would be stupefied if you've discovered anything of interest. I applied my eagle eye to the area. There's nothing here. Might want to use your own eyes. Better light might reveal more, and the skills of the investigator are not unimportant. Precisely why I'm on the case. Best man for the job. I know a crime when I see it. Very sly, but I doubt your vigilance will be rewarded. Who's to say? I'll be pushing off soon for my tea. What can you tell me about the crime, Constable? Why Lestrade needs you is beyond me. Seems like you're always begging for information from us. As you haven't solved the case, perhaps you might humor the inspector and simply answer the question. The victim was shot at close range by an unknown assailant. Probably happened nearby and recently. The body ended up in the river. A wherryman fished it out. That's it. What's a wherryman? Ferryman?
I mean, I can't make any good jokes about that one.
What do you know about the wherryman? Nothing. Don't know where he hangs his hat or if he wears one. Inspector Lestrade talked to him. He's got the particulars at the yard. Okay. Yep, stairs all right. Even in uncertain light, a distinctive sheen is visible. A spattering appears against the right wall and viscous splodges on the 6th and 12th steps. Any of certain kinds of half-decked commercial boats, such as barges used in Britain. Oh. Completed in 8... Oh, never mind. That's not what... I want the gaff hook.
Time to hook some gaffs.
A stiff hickory pole is attached by a clip to the wall. The business end of the pole is an iron hook. In skillful hands, it could be used to catch a landing line or even snatch a child from the river. Use. Permission or no, Mr. Holmes. You got no use for that hook. Don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. It weren't used to retrieve the body. Why do we have the option to click use on it? And why does he care whether we handle it? Watson, make an assessment. Ismail Pasha's gift looks hauntingly mysterious in this light. And you can't see the damage wreaked by coal dust and the climate. A decade in England has mutilated the obelisk more than 3 millennia in Egypt. It's sickening. Yeah, I was thinking that. Woke Watson. Wokeson. The dolt called me an intruder. Can you credit it? He's either ignorant or intentionally insulting. A little of both. The moronic and the abusive are evenly matched in his character. Let's be off, Watson. I didn't really want to be here anyway. We came here for good reason, Holmes. Official rudeness or incompetence does not diminish their validity. Right. Anything else here? Have you used your... I was going to say, we should probably use our lantern, because it mentioned the dim light. Have you used your torch on these stairs? No, it's at the station. Blasted nuisance to carry around. But critical for such an investigation, I should think. I got on with a half packet of matches. That's kinky. Very illuminating. Alright, we should have ours. What? Oh. An unsupervised pass with the bullseye would prove more enlightening. Thanks, Watson. You're right, Watson. I'm not about to do Roach's job for him, and for that helpful reminder, I'll excuse your terrible pun. So, what?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on now.
We're not going to do it? No effects. An unsupervised we need to get rid of him?
Yeah, I don't understand why though. Or how, but mostly why.
Well, let's see. We could give him mints.
Are they poisons?
Not yet. We can snuff him out with a snuff box. Watson, can you distract him? Seduce him. Watson, grab that gaff hook and pull him away.
Like, I don't understand why we want to inspect that though.
Hmm. Yes, Watson. So distract him or something. I don't know what you want. Throw pebbles at him until he leaves.
I mean, I'm definitely okay with this. Poison the mints.
Uh,
Not that the weird slow pacing is made me kind of zone out for a bit, but have we gone back to Scotland Yard since being told this?
we haven't. There might be something we have to do there to get him called away or something. I don't like running into like frequent puzzles where it's like figure out how to distract the guy so you can do the investigation. Just let me do the investigation. And let that be the puzzle. This music reminds me of like, what's this? So-and-so is evolving.
I don't know what it makes me think of. Something from the PlayStation era.
Burp, burp, burp. I need details on the corpse you hauled from the Thames, Lestrade. Middle-aged, on the thin side of average, shot in the head, cavernous hole, dead before he hit the water. A crime was witnessed? No, a riverman may have heard the shots. He found the body by the needle. He'll collect a half a crown for the corpse. Claims to know nothing about how it got there. You believe him? These river chaps are a dodgy lot. He'll volunteer anything that turns a profit, and nothing that won't. But I don't think he did the murder. You mean I can sell corpses for half a crown? Where can I find this worthy? The body's at Bart's. Not a pretty sight. His face is gone. Can't even tell what color his eyes were. The rest of him's alright. Hadn't been in the water long. I was referring to the riverman. Ah, Needham's his name. Lives off the Aldgate High Street, 6 Half Moon Passage. If you're planning a visit, take a pistol. I always carry a firearm east of Bishopsgate. Still adrift in a sea of paperwork, Lestrade? I'm drowning, Mr. Holmes. Going down for the 3rd time. Any more information about the corpse from the embankment? Nothing you don't know about. It looks like a random robbery and murder. Much obliged to you for looking into it. Alright. Sergeant, what's in the evidence chest at the moment? What in particular were you wanting to find? Anything unexpected. Your methods are strange and wonderful, Mr. Holmes. And just between you and me, there's nothing in there but my dinner and a flask of coffee. Is that unexpected? Yeah. Not really, thank you. Was a weapon recovered with the corpse you dragged from the... Oh, there's the cock. Oh, that's huge. Let's see if I can catch it.
Oh, jeez.
I'll be right back. It's gone. Oh,
Or
there it is. One sec. Fell behind my desk. I'm trying to catch it in this jar. They're really fast. Sorry, were you gonna say something?
Oh, no, I don't remember. But I'm just curious. Where does one get good jars?
I got some at like a Michael's, I guess. Good craft store. Hang on, I gotta turn the light out. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Yeah, you can find them at craft stores. I got some ball jars. Oh, that reminds me, I might have a better jar for catching a cockroach somewhere else.
Oh,
1 second.
not a problem.
All right. Yeah, I'll just keep an eye out for it. Yeah, it looks kind of like that one. That emoji. But it's really big. Was a weapon recovered with the corpse you dragged from the Thames? No, Mr. Holmes. Where are the victim's effects? I assume that M.E. at Bart's has them. Medical examiner. Okay. Nope. Gregson. You understand we need to be more circumspect than usual, Watson. You've always kept your own counsel while sharing an investigation. True, but I've generally told Lestrade what I thought he needed to know about a given inquiry. Presently, I'm not certain what that might be. It's obvious Mycroft did not want official involvement in this matter. Then keep a close watch on your emotions, and I'll keep my tongue between my teeth. Is there anything here to detain us further, Watson? Are we being detained? I don't think so, Holmes, but you often extract valuable nudgists from what I've deemed a tapped-out vein. Does the inspector require any more information in your judgment? I think he has quite enough to occupy his attention. All right, let's go to the dead body room.
To the corpsatorium.
Ba-derp. Do we have to talk to you again? Matron, we are going to the morgue. My register requires an entry concerning the purpose of your intrusion. We're here to speak to Dr. McCabe in his capacity as principal officer of the coroner's inquest. All right. I guess that works. Doctor, did your examination reveal anything else of interest? His lungs were in deplorable shape. Tobacco, I should think. Alcohol had begun to ravage his liver and kidneys. I would characterize his general condition as dilapidated. Natural causes. Let the bodies hit the drawer. Why would we want to examine Sir Hubert's body again?
That's a good question.
He's in number 2, Mr. Holmes. Keeping cool. We can open the drawers now.
That's a good question.
Did it even open? I guess it did. The frigid drawer has given Sir Hubert's skin a decidedly blue tinge. An extremely thin male form of average height is stretched out on the autopsy slab. His legs are covered with a gray, rough wool blanket of a type commonly used by the medical examiner's office and the police. The front of his head is not distinguishable as a face. Okay. Can we talk about the body? No? What are we here for?
The other bodies?
Dr. McCabe's next case patiently waits beneath a sheet. The coroner never lacks for work. Death takes no holidays. That's not Dr. Watson. Or is it? Anything of significance, Watson? Lestrade must have been desperate to call. How are even you to identify the unidentifiable? My vanity believes he considers me to be the highest court of appeal in detection, but more likely I am his last resort. When did they start using fingerprints?
Yeah, I want to say that they were not normally routinely used until shortly after this. I remember we looked it up.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Observations, doctor? Undernourished, reasonably well-formed, white male, age between 30 and 40. No obvious physical abnormalities. Nicely shaped hands showing no recent history of manual labor. A description that might fit 200,000 men in Greater London. You would add? He was right-handed, an occasional painter, oils I think, suffered from dandruff and smoked heavily. I see the ink on his index finger and paint under his nails. The dandruff is obvious, but I see no nicotine stains on his fingers. Well, the doctor just mentioned shitty lungs and liver or something. Nor do I. Note the discoloration around what remains of his upper lip. Okay. That is not a powder burn. I assume he used a holder or perhaps he smoked a pipe. But also, did anyone really think... Well, I guess they wouldn't have really thought smoking was necessarily really bad for your lungs in that time. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it would have been too hard to guess.
What are you talking about? It's good for your lungs. Can we open the others? Sorry.
Those taste good like a cigarette should.
The first known murder case to be solved using fingerprint analysis was in Argentina in 1892. So we figured out a few things about the corpse. Are we done here? Should we go to the ward if we can?
So what do we learn about it other than his face is kind of unfazed-like?
30s to 40s, smoker, artist. Not a manual labor person.
Isn't one of the apartments an artist who's missing?
Yeah. Yep. It's probably the one. So maybe we should just go straight there. Thomas Pratt. Do you think Holmes knows what we know?
Roger, good question. Can we find some evidence of smoking here?
That's a good question.
There's evidence of art. Maybe in the dustbin? No. Does it smell like smoke in here? Watson? Suggestions, Watson? Perhaps we should investigate. We have? That corpse is a distraction. We have our... Come on. Seeking information from people who can't be found is frustrating, debilitating, and discouraging. We've had enough of that. My previous behavior notwithstanding, I'm not a child. I can handle adversity, Watson. Failure, of course, is not an option. Excuse me, Holmes. I meant to imply nothing beyond our need for a taste of success. Lestrade's often been an unwitting ally in your... Oh, this is like... We already followed all this stuff. Has Come On been called?
Oh. No. Okay.
We can go back to the needle. Maybe we can... Or maybe we have to go back to Lestrade and talk about the corpse.
Maybe. So I remember, have we looked at his effects or no?
The corpse's effects?
Yeah, because like, we've been told that the effects are at the or with the ME.
Yeah, that's right. That is what happened. But we couldn't ask about them. We can go back and check again. Squadron is squadroning.
Are they squadroning well?
Hi, Burnham.
Hey,
Let's go. Let's go to Scotland Yard again.
So every time he says squadron, I always assume he's talking about the Mets.
Oh, I thought he was talking about Rogue Squadron.
The 9X of my new favorite squadron. You sound very, very American, authentically American, and definitely American. Ah, fair point.
This is where they would be.
Can we ask to see? No, no, wait. You have no more dialogue.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a pixel hunting thing on the body, like for his hands specifically, or his butt. Check his butt.
Nope, no but. Jonathan Wilson, he poisoned himself.
Mm.
I don't think we can look at his effects, even though the game suggested it.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem that way, but is there anything we can do with the cabinet?
No.
Can we show the telegram to the examiner just to
Oh.
confirm he knows that we're supposed to do the thing?
Lestrade's missive suggests a problem of identification. Is it real or apparent? We don't know if he was apparent. Very real.
Oh.
Extremely difficult case from his point of view. If that was it... I'm just tired of like the thing being talk to person in this way, show person this thing. I want to investigate things, not people. We must stop meeting like this, Dr. McCabe. I'd prefer a chin wag at my local over a pint in a game of darts, but I doubt that's quite in your line. You might be surprised, Inspector Lestrade has asked me to help identify the body that was pulled from the Thames. Is he on the slab? Of course. I wish Lestrade had informed me of his intention. You know my practice in these matters. What can you tell me about this victim's cause of death? The formal cause was a massive cerebral hemorrhage. The efficient cause were bullets of large caliber fired from point-blank range. Drowning and suicide can be dismissed then. I've been experimenting with ballistics. You have the bullets? Useless fragments. I disposed of them. The large pieces must have passed through the cavernous exit wound. Might I examine the body? I know your methods, Mr. Holmes. Observation is your watchword. Its corollary is that without knowledge, observation and deduction are worth noting. Currently, I have very little knowledge. I hope to amend the deficiency. Could I see the victim's effects? You know where I keep them, and it's only the clothes. He came in without shoes, and his pockets were empty. Indeed, most peculiar, most interesting. One bullet would certainly have done the job, Doctor. Thoughts? The killer was a vicious psychopath. Likely, but incomplete, I think. If you say so, my interests are with the victim. Yours reside in the murderer. I prefer my work. Dr. McCabe, please inform me if your examinations divulge anything of further interest. I will indeed, Mr. Holmes, and vice versa, please. You may depend on it.
So now can we look in the box?
I hope so. Various and sundry garments hang from wooden pegs and hangers.
Really?
All the pockets have been emptied and turned inside out.
That's interesting.
Emptied by the coroner?
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
Has anybody come to view this victim or any of your cases? No recent visitors, Mr. Holmes. Not many seem to have your interest in the subject. Why do you think the killer used 2 bullets, Watson? An accident or fluke. There may be no cogent reason whatsoever. Nonsense. It was intentional. He wished to complicate identification of the victim, but the killer also told us about himself. He wanted to punish as he killed. Why, I wonder? That's grotesque, Holmes. Perhaps incompetence was the reason, or panic. You always suspect the worst of people. It is a matter of no small regret, Watson, that many of my low, mean-spirited suspicions turn out to be well-founded.
You always want to think the worst of murderers.
Yeah. Smell the corpse.
Sniff his butt. I didn't mean for real.
The stench of the polluted Thames and the smell of cordite make it impossible to detect whether the victim wore a discernible cologne or smoked a particular cigar. But
There it is.
a wed rose attached to its thorny stem is skillfully engraved on the victim's buttock. Drawn to scale, the brilliant colors of the tattoo startlingly contrast with the unnatural pallor of the victim's otherwise unblemished backside. Well, he's British. The corpse lies prone on the table. Blah de blah.
Hold on to your butts.
It was his butt. Now smell his butt. All right, let's cover it up.
Also, how long has cordite been used?
Wait, can we? Sorry, let me. I want to make sure, like, dun dun dun. All right, it's definitely not there. See that the tattoo is there.
So this is 1887, right?
The butt theme. It's 1890 something.
Oh, 1890s. Oh, okay.
Have you ever seen a tattoo like this one, Doctor? Never. Not the usual subject matter. Anchors, lions, dragons, and such. Indeed, a delicate Tudor rose, the emblem of England, a unique design, colors, and placement. Overall, quite remarkable. He wears the rose of youth upon him, the bard says. I've always been partial to Antony and Cleopatra. Like the obelisk. Let's show some respect.
Respect the butt.
A highly unusual, if not unique design. Comments, Doctor? I will defer to your judgment, Holmes. I can't recall seeing anything like it in your monograph on tattoos and scarification. I have some thoughts, but they can wait. All right.
So I like how we couldn't tell the medical examiner that we've been sent by Lestrade until after we showed them proof that we had been sent by Lestrade.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just so backwards.
Yeah, I feel like the game should just kind of like take care of things like that, you know?
Or failing that, one or the other, but like, or the other way around. Be like, hey, we were sent by Lestrade. Really? Can you show me? But like, this is, you just can't even say it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe now we go here.
Tell me about this guy's butt.
Have you ever seen his butt?
You don't even ask that. You just say, show me the butt. Tell me about the butt. Check the saddle for traces of tattoo ink.
Maybe we go back to Scotland Yard. Burp, butter, butter, butter. Maybe we go back to the needle?
That makes sense.
We tell the constable there about the tattoo, and he leaves to go look at it because he wants to see the butt tattoo. Yeah. Third stream of this game, and we finally found the rose tattoo.
And I'm doubly gonna get that song stuck in my head.
The tramp stamp.
Out of curiosity, did you listen to it?
Yeah. I don't remember what it sounds like, though.
It's a song that mentions a rose tattoo. And rose tattoo. And rose tattoo.
This is a song that mentions a rose tattoo, and a rose tattoo, and a rose.
Well, other than well, it has to sound more maritime.
There once was a song about a rose tattoo.
Ow. Ow. I want a little opossum buddy. Like you didn't already.
Watson, like I said before, seduce the constable. Here we go. Our constable Roach is a congenital idiot, Watson.
Based on what?
A man with his limitations should find another line of work. I guarantee what he has found barren will bear fruit for us, but not now. Do you recall the great Goethe's dying words, Watson? Regrettably, my German is non-existent, Holmes. Mehr Licht, he said. More lights. We have a similar need. Less official surveillance might serve a similar purpose. In this light, I can't do much better than the cretinous constable. You could do better on hearsay, but I'm sorry I didn't bring the bullseye. Well, I did, Watson, and you know it. Never mind, I've got mine, but I don't plan on doing his job for him. Another time will suit us better.
It's such a weird dialogue.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's the only problem with this game, really. It's too linear.
Yeah.
The weird things they want you to do aren't a problem. It's just that it won't let you. Like, we know that we want to inspect that with light. Why can't we? Like, it's not moon logic, because it's not that we have to do things that don't make sense. It's just that we have to do it in a sequence that doesn't make sense.
Show him again. Maybe now we go to Scotland Yard and try to get him called away? I don't know.
Well, I'm assuming that they're just saying that we can't be here until we're actually invested in the case. So, for example, hypothetically, we think that... Oh, crap, what's this guy's name again?
Tom Riddle. Thomas Pratt?
Okay, so if we knew, if Sherlock knew that it was Thomas Pratt's body, then he would recognize they were connected and actually want to investigate. Currently, he's disinterested in the case.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we can't get rid of the guy, is because officially we're not interested yet.
Okay. I bet what we need to do now is go back to our flat and we'll get news about the spring or something.
Possibly. That actually makes, by this game standards, sense.
Yeah. I wish things felt more like
Organic.
Yeah, like you do the thing and it makes sense, as opposed to, oh, we need to get a message, so let's go to our flat and change our clothes and hope it happens, and if it doesn't, we'll have to go. I don't like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if someone tells you to wait, then going to your home would actually make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's not just that though. It's like you have to do all the other arcane steps first for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't that, so let's take another minute to change into our outside clothes again. Maybe we go to the place where the child was supposed to be. Maybe there's something we could do there now.
I do not remember this.
There's like a house that has like a bunch of, it's like a mess, and there's like a train on the floor. It's like a
I
child lives
remember
here.
the room, but I don't remember why we were in that place. Is that one
It's
of the 3 people?
it's one of the 3 people. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, in that case, yeah, definitely. But like, assuming that is Thomas, um, I am actually starting to feel a little more invested in the story. I just wish we could just bite into it rather than having like nibble so daintily.
Mm-hmm. Suggestions, Watson? Perhaps you should investigate Lestrade. Trying to.
See, yeah, somehow we have to identify who it is. Seems like I'm the only one working all hours. Literally everyone is stuck, nailed to the floor where they're working. You're not special, dude.
What do you know about the corpse pulled from the Thames? About a half-crown's worth. At that depressed price, I'll assume against all odds that your information is worth even less than usual. Well, here's a free sample. The Yard thinks it's a strong-arm robbery gone wrong. Victim's watch and wallet are missing. The inquest is scheduled Thursday next. As I suspected, such information is nearly worthless. I don't know if that does anything.
So, what do we see when we checked his effects? Nothing, right?
His pockets were turned out.
Yeah, so assuming that it was done by, like, before the authorities arrived, that just makes it look like a robbery, but it's weird that there's nothing else to learn from it. Like, someone bothered mentioning his effects, and we had to earn the right to see them to determine that it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if we have to specifically find something that ties to that tattoo in particular. Like, you would think to be the sort of thing where, unless everyone's going to have a tattoo, you wouldn't get any answers yet. But
Where might you get a tattoo at this time in history? Is there a tattoo parlor that we could investigate?
I think he probably just set a rose on fire and sat on it really quickly.
It could be that. He could have given it to himself. Could you imagine putting a tattoo on your own butt?
I mean, I'm like probably the least coordinated person you know, so no. Oh, well, I probably actually am. I'm special in a way.
Yeah, we can't look at his effects any more than to find his pockets are turned out.
Well, if my theory is correct, the other butts won't matter. Other than possibly Mycroft's butt, but you know, the point out that this is skillfully done. So yeah, wait, is there a drama I command?
Yeah, it's one of the first sounds. It's
Oh yeah.
ba-da.
I need it just in time. Which reminds me,
Hello, I like money.
You got the wrong one.
Yeah, I like money, though.
Yep, that sounds like idiocracy.
You thought someone was offline rating you for a sec? Because of the... Do you have that sound as well?
Oh, like the drama one, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is that from? It sounds familiar.
It's part of the dramatic, what? Ground squirrel?
Okay, so I
thing?
was picturing like a raid. I was picturing like a gopher or something like that.
Which isn't a chipmunk, it's a ground squirrel.
I am so uninformed. I have no idea what any of these words are. What the same against is. Which mag? Which? What the? Oh, it's called dramatic chipmunk. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's a ground squirrel?
You get it at the market. Yeah, a prairie dog is also technically a kind of ground squirrel. It's part of the squirrel family. I don't know, I don't remember the details on if ground squirrel... I think ground squirrel should be different from prairie dog.
I am getting slightly different pictures.
Yeah, it might be that a prairie dog is a type of ground squirrel. I don't know how it works. They could be two different things.
I mean, apparently
Entirely.
part of the same family.
Yeah, but they should all, yeah, they should all definitely be security. I guess that's how you say it. Security? That's from Young...
Security.
Security. Security. I always say D. So, the origin of that sound is Young Frankenstein? Interesting.
I don't know why I feel weird pronouncing that Young Frankenstein.
Prairie dog might electrocute you, a ground squirrel is safer. Frankenstein.
Thank you, Burl. Okay, how's a prairie dog going to electrocute you? I feel like this is a reference. I'm just...
It's
Oh,
because
wait,
it's not grounded.
Right, yeah. The moment I asked... Oh, jeez, dude. Dude. All right, so the question is, are we looking for something here? Okay, first, we're still assuming that, like, this is the same guy.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Well, the one thing to note is, and small thing, but this could also be the guy who did the tattoo, because we're saying that it was, like, a talented piece of art.
Right.
So, like, it's possible the guy was handling oil paints.
With a hat? Can you tattoo with a hat pin?
Oh. Oh.
Yes, it's blackened and sharpened over a flame, or it's sharpened and may have been held over a flame. This is a tattoo pin.
And it's been sanitized over a flame.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, this guy is the tattoo artist, not the guy with the tattoo on the butt. Or
Or it could be
maybe,
both.
yeah, I was about to say, maybe he put the tattoo on his own butt. You think maybe Sherlock could figure that out by us looking at the hat pin?
And this is what I mean about, I do actually like aspects of this.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish we could. So This room has 3 entrances, but we only ever seem to see one that we're using.
I think this one's a fire exit, and this one's
Oh.
the bedroom that we're not allowed to go into.
I knew we weren't allowed in there, but yeah, I didn't think of fire exit.
They have fires back then?
No, I don't think London's ever had a fire.
Too soon.
When was that?
I don't remember. I wasn't there.
Wow, I mean, it was big, but I guess I didn't realize because it has like a date range for September 2nd to 6th in 1666. Also, the giant deadly fire was 666. That's just somehow interesting. So this guy is definitely related. Now the question is this the victim or not?
I'm guessing he probably didn't tattoo his own butt.
But keep in mind, it's possible that the hat hinge is just there because this is where it happened.
Right.
Like there's a chaise longue there.
Wait, are those... What's on... We can't look at that, can we? I think I tried before. There's like
What, the chaise
pieces...
longue?
There's like tape or something? What is that?
Huh. What is that? Huh. I mean, yeah, we definitely found everything proving that as for the tattoo.
It could be for another tattoo on another person, though.
Possibly, yeah. So,
But by the game's logic, it's going to be the rose tattoo.
well, I mean, it's possible that all 3 of these people are going to have a rose tattoo.
Or that. Ooh, can we go look at their butts?
Well, oh wow, you must have thought it was really random that I was talking about Mycroft's butt earlier. Then,
Oh, yeah.
I was saying he
I
might
didn't
have.
catch it.
Yeah, no, because he might have one also.
Oh, maybe... Oh, we can't talk to him anymore. They separated him out. They hid him from us. Ooh, let's... You've been having a good run at the table. Can we go play? Decent. I'm playing defensively. Left his lordship without much to shoot at. He'd never win a game if I knew the diamond system. You must be very proud, Jenkins. Oh, he won't let us? If I disturb him without cause, Mr. Holmes, he won't come out and you won't get in. I'll be sacked. He's in that foul mood since last time. Can we show him the thing again? Or, oh, it was our card. Maybe we can show the... No. We have reason to believe he has a tattoo on his butt.
I can't remember.
I have a
What was
search
the
warrant for your
sign?
butt.
What was the thing for showing membership in the club?
Oh, the ring.
Oh, that was the ring. Did we show the ring?
No.
It wouldn't make sense because they already know that we have connections to Mycroft, but it's.
Mm-hmm. Oh, can we look at the butt of... I guess it wouldn't matter. But maybe. Say the butt of the other corpse from earlier on. I guess it's something. I don't know. Yep, the federal butt inspectors. Maybe we should cover this up. What about you, Watson? Let's have a look at your butt.
Could Watson be part of the Illuma Buddy? It might be.
The Illuminati?
Nah, there you go.
Yours was good too. I was just trying to think of like variants. Wait, the Daily Telegraph. Wait. When did this open? Oh. Oh. I think I knew this. I forgot. Friedman consumes printed materials like a gourmand, devours comestibles, often in quantity and to excess. Quality is a marginal concern. The sensational stories from the illustrated weeklies in several languages are a suitable fare for his voracious appetite as the Queen's calendar from the Times. Yeah, this is the journalist guy that we were supposed to talk to.
I can remember that.
Yeah, it was opened up a long time. I think 2 areas opened up, and I forgot that there were 2.
Hey, they were journalist buddy. Let's talk about butts.
In an inexpensive gray glass ashtray, it overflows with ashes and ends from his Dutch-style cheroots. They cannot conceal the fact that it has not been washed since Friedman left the government service. Empty it on his desk. Or, oh, okay. It is not obvious that any true improvement in the room has been achieved. Okay. Hello, Charles. Might we have a few moments? I'm rather pressed, get it? And rather peeved. This story has been spiked by that cretin in editorial. My deadline's approaching, and I don't have a clue how to finish up. I'm sorry, Sherlock. How's your brother? Out of immediate danger, is he? Yes. Have you heard anything about terrorist involvement in that explosion, Charles? Not a whisper. It was an accident, certainly. Wasn't it? Never mind. I really must finish this up. You'll have to excuse me. Of course, Charles. It was just a thought. Later at the Home Office, Friedman quit the Queen's service for cause. A deserved promotion went to an incompetent colleague with better connections. His muckraking columns on international affairs are drawn from his experience with continental miscreants of all stripes. What do you think, Watson? Observations, Doctor? The temperature here is positively glacial. If you are insensible to it, you must count Laplanders among your ancestors. Friedman's collection of criminous fiction must hold interest to a devotee such as yourself. I'm sure it would, were I not colder than a lonely fragment of pack ice. Currently, I can only think of all that paper as combustible fuel.
Why would it be colder in here than outside?
The air conditioner.
I was to say the Victorian AC.
It's probably just he doesn't have a fire anywhere. Or a furnace. Think of like, Scrooge or something, you know? He wouldn't burn anything because it costs money. But look at all this all this combustible paper on the floor. One of Philo Remington's earliest efforts occupies the desk. Despite its obvious value to a journalist, Friedman has treated it no better than his other effects. Can we throw it? Remember when we threw a typewriter?
Yeah, that was a bit goofy.
Let's study these. Could be a test later. The drawings are especially good and wonderfully detailed. Some are in sets of 2 or 3 showing the same face at different times in the subject's life. Any sketches of butts? Friedman has pinned up assorted photographic portraits. The maligned Parnell, the anarchist Prince Kropotkin, and Nietzsche, philosopher and confined lunatic, are recognizable. One small portrait is arresting. The small portrait appears to be a sort of hybrid form. The photographed subject's appearance has been somehow altered. Be a fine artistic hand. An artistic hand.
An artistic hand that perhaps smells like butt.
Friedman consumes printed materials like a gourmet. Oh, yeah, we did that. There are 2 doors, side by side. The large orthomorphic projection of Europe is based on Flemish cartographer Gerhard Mercator's principles. The map indicates national boundaries as of 1870, which is to say that it is wildly out of date. Opaque glass permits a degree of privacy while allowing a modicum of illumination to penetrate from this room into the dusk that distinguishes Friedman's office. Knock, knock. Maybe 3 times?
I can't imagine why you'd be doing something with the door 3 times.
Just in case.
It would be a pretty bad game that would expect that.
Yeah. Something like Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis.
Oh, wow. That's a good point.
Was it? It wasn't that bad though, right?
The game, no. That particular aspect, yes. But no, the game itself actually wasn't bad. Honestly, even the previous one wouldn't have been bad if it weren't for that stupid punching section.
Yeah,
Just
the
because
Nazi
it was
punching
so
was
clumsily done.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just doesn't work. But other than that, it wasn't bad. It was just less. But I mean, if it hadn't been a LucasArts game, it probably wouldn't even stand out.
A new indie game out in a few months? Is it a point-and-click adventure? We have so much pointing toward an artist. Wasn't there something else that had a new game coming out soon?
I mean, Simon the Sorcerer like remaster. Probably not what you're thinking of though.
Yeah, I think there was something else.
A new Mummy game.
New Mummy game?
Probably not. You know, back when that Tom Cruise The Mummy movie came out, I think of the right thing. That was a thing that existed, right?
Yeah, I never saw it.
They had a tie-in game.
Yeah?
It was a retro pixel art.
The D-Master?
Basically, yes.
Yeah, I heard it was really good.
It was actually pretty decent.
Did you play it?
I played it for a while on Switch. I didn't beat it, but I got like my money's worth basically out of it. It was definitely a decent game. I can't imagine it had anything to do with the movie.
Oh.
But it was still. Yeah.
Jesse Needham's Abode? Oh, yeah.
This
is the guy that found the body.
Oh.
Needham's hook nose and ruffled head are reminiscent of Dickens' fictional Bird of Prey. This raptor is real. His dark hooded eyes roam the small circuit of his cage. They rest momentarily on a spot near his squalid cot, then dart again. Shoes. Shoes. A pair of serviceable black leather shoes, not recently polished and in need of resoling. Dries by the fire. The shoes are not particularly good quality, but they are as incongruous here as a pair of pink silk ballet slippers. What is that? Is that a mouse? A rat? A cockroach?
Ground squirrel,
Ground squirrel?
also known
Empty.
as chipmunk.
Chipmunk? Empty, unlabeled bottles. Do you use two L's for unlabeled here?
So yeah, that's the weird thing. We're very inconsistent about that.
They once held gin of an extremely inferior character. Without evidence identifying Needham as a miniature shipbuilder, one may surmise that the bottles are refillable. Patty LaBelle. Patty unlabelle. Yeah, I think I prefer cancel with one L, but I don't remember. Or canceled. One L.
The problem is, what I consciously prefer doesn't usually agree with what my hands prefer to type.
Oh.
Yeah, I do not agree with myself very much.
A rough crate is filled with flammable materials. There are a few small chunks of coal, unfinished timber, and furniture fragments, some from once elegant pieces. All this refuse appears to have been extracted from the Thames. It is a little mousy. Yeah, I think I'm mostly in favor of removing letters. Given the aquatic provenance of many of the room's effects, this imitation Turner was probably rescued from the Thames. Modern Londoners have not abandoned the centuries-old habit of tossing the ephemeral and the unloved into the flowing refuse bin. I'm not going to say it. I'll let you answer.
With great apprehension.
Do it.
So, okay. The problem is I actually don't know how I say this because the moment it comes up, I don't even remember. I know that my father always used to say decal. But I'm assuming it's supposed to be decal, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so yeah. I don't know how I say it anymore.
If it were of 10, it'd be decal.
There you go. So I just have to get all stickers in packs of 10 and then I'm fine.
I'm going to get a decal of stickers.
A
And-
decal of decals.
A decal of decals. An antiquated seaman's chest sits at the foot of a simple cot. Its splintered lid and corroded metal fittings render it unfit to fulfill the purpose for which it was intended.
How did this possibly come up?
Astrid said, you say decal. Well, I mean... What do you think you're doing, mate? You got no business there.
There could be butts in here. A chest full of butts.
A chest full of butts. We are inspecting every butt and every chest in London. Oh, Carrie.
Oh.
So is it a Canadian thing?
I don't know.
Can you put the antiquated seaman in the long rubbers?
Yeah,
Well,
if
she's
you
from
ever-
Jersey, so...
Okay, what is the background of this joke, by the way?
The decal joke, or...
No. Eris in Jersey.
Oh, well, she lived in New Jersey for some time.
Oh, okay. That explains the bingo event.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about the corpse you pulled from the river, won't you? I told the old Bill what I knowed. I was sculling near the Whitehall steps when I heard pistol shots. A little later, I comes across a fresh, stiff, floating face down. I put one and one together, hauled him up at the needle, and waited for a copper.
So if you want to see weird pronunciations and see how consistent it is, next time Carrie's on Mike or Bats, ask which car company has the motto Zoom Zoom.
The steps are a good bit west of the needle, and the tide was running out to sea. You were lucky to catch up with the body. I'll address that in a minute. If you've seen the body, you got an odd notion of luck. The police was satisfied. Zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom, 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 zoom. Yeah, it's Mazda.
How do I say it, or how do I say it now?
Mazda.
I don't say that anymore. Jay and Bernie have already heard this explanation, but our commercials are actually redubbed to say Mazda instead of Mazda.
Right.
Which means a good chance that oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay, so it's just a good chance that Carrie says it the way that the commercials say it.
Maybe the commercials say Decal as well.
I can't say that likely comes up very often. Oh, that's a good thought.
Maz 28 duh. Wait, we do call him Maz.
We call him Mazba, yeah.
And yeah. Well, I guess his name is a Z28. Decal is a cool way to say it. It is. Have you done art? Sorry.
I'm definitely never at all super self-conscious about my pronunciations of things. Never.
I think we all have it. We all say things. Like jazz.
You like jazz?
You like jazz? Have you done army service, Needham? I wouldn't say no to the Queen's shilling, but I never fancied work on land. The Navy then? You were a sailor? Never. A bunch of ponces in uniform. Couldn't navigate a drainage ditch. Seen him struggle in the Deptford Reach, just running with the tide. What were you doing on the river, Mr. Needham? Trying to earn my brass. Man's got to work day and night just to live in these hard times. Forget the fable you told the police. I think you witnessed a crime on the embankment. I saw naught. Nonsense, you were close by. With no experience of small arms, you identified pistol shots. Whitehall is too distant to hear distinctly, even over water. And from there, you'd never catch up to a body moving on the tide. That's just talk, and like they say, talk is cheap. Depends on the subject and the speaker. The police might find my argument pure gold. Tin, more like, or I don't know PC Roach and Inspector Lestrade. You have a point. Strangely, the corpse you found had no personal effects. Perhaps some of them found their way here. Like in that chest. You'll never know. Got no rights to snoop. Man's home's his castle. If you'd prefer, I can bring back a warrant and a load of policemen. No need for that. I'm guilty of nothing. I didn't shoot the bloke. I kept him from going to sea. And took a souvenir from the body, Mr. Needham, in remembrance of your good deed. Go ahead, see what you can find. Nothing worth 6 or I'm related to the Queen. Tell me why you took the corpse's shoes. They're obviously too small for you. Things from the river are gifts, and a poor man can't afford an exact fit. As he lost the need for him, I figured to lighten his load as he passed over. Very kind of you, I'm sure. I wonder if they exhaust the items you relieved him of. Can we look at the shoes? More?
Well, I mean, it implied that we're allowed to look in the chest now, right?
Maybe. Dun 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 dun. An assortment of affecting objects are stored in the glory hole. Glory hole. A child's sweater, a wooden doll, and a piece of lace share space with dilapidated umbrellas, a horsehair brush, and an old stovepipe hat. The chest smells distinctly of the river, and droplets dot the floor in front of it. Rummage. A sodden blue cravat lies crumpled in a corner of the chest. Would you mess about with the quality's possessions? Poor man's got no rights. I'm agog at the items you've rescued from the river. True objet trouvé. Objects trouvies.
Flawless French.
Thank you. Tie. What do you mean, Bernie? The chest is a glory hole. That's what we call these things. University graduates who wish to advertise their college affiliation wear such ties. This one bears the Cambridge University crest and the Magdalen College coat of arms. It's soaked through, Holmes. No good for use or ornament, and it will drench your pockets. I suppose I can live without it. I'm just gonna take it.
So I think we need to find evidence of who went to crap. I already forgot where.
Who went to?
Like I think because it's still wet, it shows it came off the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And really, Bernie, what came up?
Did you turn safe search off?
Hopefully, because we're looking for chests, not safes.
Mm-hmm. That tie belongs to the victim. What else of his personal property did you steal? A wallet, perhaps? What's he care about a useless garment or anything from this world? He's left it. You can't steal from a dead man. No use for money. Can't spend it. Wouldn't miss it. Were you a barrister in a previous life? Or a philosopher? Maybe you learned that litany from Gaffer Hexam? Don't split hairs with me. Produce what you lifted or face incarceration. Search the place. Toss it. Do your worst. You'll find naught else. You said that before. When did you lose your family, Needham? My missus and daughter died by cholera. I've been alone these 20 years. I'm sorry, a solitary life is hard. Tear up the floorboards. Is there anything else to find here? You're playing Wiki Party, trying to get from glory hole to chest, one click.
I've got to try that game eventually. Is it just like 6 degrees of separation, but Wikipedia?
Basically, yeah.
Does everything eventually take you to an article for crabs?
I mean, if you go for it. I don't think there's anything else to find here.
So I would assume that if you went to the 3 homes, starting with the...
Oh, we can talk to Watson. You have more to say?
No, this is good. This
Okay.
is better.
Okay. Have you noticed, Doctor, that the East End reduces life to its basics? If you meant it appears a mere struggle for survival, Holmes, I do. Hobbes is right, I fear. Existence on these terms is solitary, nasty, brutish, and short.
That doesn't sound like Hubbard.
Is he here? Did he say that?
I don't remember that.
What do you make of the environs, Watson? Very little, Holmes. Being here is singularly depressing. Quite. Less than 3 miles from the Houses of Parliament, the storied amenities of the Empire are a very different thing. I would have expected a hidey hole somewhere about, but I don't spy one. Well, we found a glory hole. A place to conceal small objects as might come from corpses? Got it in one, Watson. The room is so vulnerable and insecure, he may fear leaving anything valuable behind, even hidden away. Maybe he hid something somewhere else?
Yeah, that's a really... I'm assuming when you look at the walls, it says nothing, right?
It says walls.
No, but like if you click right to look. And you looked at the painting, right?
Mm-hmm. Can't move it.
We made sure there's no like pixel hunting for the floorboards, right? See, it's weird because both suggesting that, hey, there ought to be a little hidden stash here, but there also should not be.
Yeah. Makes me wonder, is there somewhere else that things could be stashed? Like down by the river or something?
It's possible we already did what we need.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that the music changed when we discovered the time.
Oh, Liverpool Street Station, train to Cambridge.
Oh. Fair enough.
Fleming's been porter at Magdalen since King Charles lost his head. Marvelous character, remembers everything, and he's eager to tell it for a pint or two. Was Magdalen your college then? No, my chemistry tutor was a fellow there. I visited his rooms one term. I've never been really clear on your university days. Where did you study when you came up? I need to rest, Watson. Wake me when we arrive, will you? Sleeping? That's fine. Wonderful. What about our other inquiries? Any ideas? Do you think Mycroft is still in danger? Are we? We're gonna go to sleep and dream about Laguna.
Jeez.
Well, that's sorry.
I think he changes the subject. Like, hey, where did you study? Oh, I'm so tired now.
I study in my dreams. Well, I suppose nothing much can happen on a train. Well, murders have happened on trains. So I've heard.
Wait.
Shady people. That dude was shady. That was suspicious.
Yeah.
You take a quick BRB break.
Oh yeah, me too. Then.
Yeah. Oh, there's gonna be some snoring. BRB. All right, I'm back.
Welcome back. I do not know why I said it like that.
Sounded pretty normal.
Normal for me and normal are not the same thing.
I was looking for the cockroach again. Didn't find it. Got some water.
Oh, nice.
Ate some nuts.
What kind?
Unsalted mixed nuts, including almonds and Brazil nuts and I think pecans and cashews.
I feel like this is the same mix as last time, and I probably should have remembered at least one of them.
Oh, macadamia, which is interesting because I'd never really eaten macadamia outside of a cookie before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have not.
The oars commemorate Maudlin's contribution to the Cambridge team, which trounced Oxford in the Henley Regatta of 1854. Regrettably, the Cambridge Eight has had little to celebrate since that auspicious year. The historic oars appear to be infested with woodworms.
It's a woodworm.
That's a
I
woodworm
wish I had
question.
not Googled that.
woodworms is a common name. What are those? Those are... They are referring to... Which beetles? I have a family in mind that it probably is, but I'm just need to confirm. Is it buprestids? It's probably buprestids. Because it could be many different kinds of beetles. Many different families of beetles actually could be referred to as woodworms, I think. Yeah. Common names. Groups of young men are formally posed in the photographs displayed on the wall. Some men appear in academic garb. Others wear various informal or sporting costumes. All pictures are of very recent vintage. A small lending library of classics from English literature occupy the upper shelves. Albums or diaries appear on the lower shelves. Dated portraits of Maudlin's matriculating classes are carefully glued into individual pages of the picture albums.
I like how they can get like discrete versus discrete correct. They can say matriculating, but they can't spell portrait.
I think they misspelled or misused discrete one time before, maybe in the last game. But yeah, this game they got it right. In 1850, this trophy closet was presented to the college by a group of old boys. Over the decades, their expectations that Maudlin would require such a large, fine repository for its awards and victory cups have been disappointed. Disappointed. This ancient velocipede is reminiscent pointed of Lelement's Bone Shaker, Rubber tires have been replaced the forged iron wooden-rimmed orbs of the original. Nevertheless, the rider of this relic must hold the health of his spine in contempt, or perhaps he wishes to palpitate a troublesome gallstone. Is that like a penny farthing?
I don't know.
What's in the cup? A common Cornwall china cup and saucer sit at Fleming's elbow. As there is no evidence of water, kettle, or gas jet, perhaps someone brings his tea. I just noticed this keys here.
Interesting. So what we do is, why would? Wow.
It has been some time since the tea touched this cup. Strong ale is Fleming's drink of choice, and the residue remaining here is reasonably fresh. Dude's drunk. Can we not take the keys? Aw.
Seriously?
These keys have accumulated over generations. No one knows what they unlock. Locked doors are symbolically anathema to the university's open environment. Despite or because of this quaint attitude, precious objects constantly disappear from their rightful owners. You'd think they would learn. Hey, maybe locking things up might be a good thing.
Presumably, the people who have property go missing aren't the people who run the place. It's other people's stuff left around, so not the problem.
The porter's desk is as dignified and even more ancient than the man himself. The well-maintained surface belies decades of wear. Each college young gentleman has his own mail slot. Fleming alone knows their locations. Letters and small parcels currently occupy several of them. Porter at Magdalen for more than 50 years, Fleming's vivid recollection of the Queen's coronation has been a soporific for generations of students. Self-styled chronicler of his young gentleman's activities, he's a font of information, though his aging pomp often requires priming. What's his book? The open tome is an antique volume of the Encyclopedia Britannica. He often reads it. Regularly, he seeks formal knowledge from it by osmosis.
Soporific is a word you don't see very often.
It's a good word.
It is? Rouse.
Soporific. Fleming, old fellow, how are you? College closed. Fleming, I say, rouse yourself, sir. Zzz, zed, 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 zed.
Thank you.
This won't do, Watson. He requires some hair from the dog that bit him. It must have been a huge dog. Shall I check his pulse? No need. Collect a couple bottles of strong ale from the public house that we passed, will you? Mind, it's not small beer. Some porter for the porter. Sorry, Holmes. Oh, he's actually going. Okay.
What the? That's a phrase for like hangovers, not for waking up.
Yeah. Get this man some beer. He needs it to wake up.
He's tired. Let's get him some depressants.
Oh, he's back already. Okay.
I think smack him with the oar is the best way to wake him up.
Or shake him and scream fire. I don't know.
Check his butt for a rose tattoo.
Nothing changes very much in Cambridge, Watson. I'm sure the pace of change is slow, but the aura of immutability is perpetrated by porters and dons. They are eternal. Everyone else is transient. They have an interest in perpetuating the illusion, and your frozen memory assists them. It was merely an observation, Watson. Excuse me. I'm sure those oars haven't moved since I used to visit here. The very walls appear to have been built up around them. Not so old as that, Watson, though sometimes I feel it. The oars came here in the year of my birth. Sir, we got you a beer. Drink up. Oh. Okay, so just having a beer in front of him.
That is not at all weird.
Will you have a drink, Fleming? Never while on duty, sir. Now please move along. You're trespassing on college grounds. Would you oblige us, Fleming, with your opinion? We're here evaluating this ale. Happy to assist young gentlemen in pursuit of knowledge. So for science, as you might say. Excellent. I recognize you, don't I? I'm pleased to think you might. I'm Sherlock Holmes. Of course you are. Never forget a face, Mr. Holmes. Just take me a bit longer to focus. Just takes me a bit longer to focus. You're keeping well. Haven't gained a stone since you went down. I read your exploits and beatings. This is Dr. Watson, is it? Pleased, I'm sure. Even after all these years, my recollections of this place are so vivid. Is that unusual, Fleming? Not at all, sir. We are what we remember. As the bard says, even purpose is but a slave to memory. I need to excavate your prodigious memory, Fleming. May I do that? I enjoy a good mystery. Dig away, sir. I saw a tattoo on a corpse. Something about it reminded me of Cambridge. A view of Trumpington Street? Nothing so definitive. It's a neatly rendered blooming rose. You're familiar with such a figure? If it was engraved on the subject's backside, it might be the badge of the Tudor Rose. The Arcane Social Club? Of course, the symbol of England was their sign. I had no idea those rare birds marked themselves. Since your time, sir. Been a drinking club for more than a decade, carousing and such. Nothing much secret about it. Old boys are ashamed to be associated with their newer members. University may revoke their charter, is what I heard. Is the artist a local man? Jack Canvas in Cheapside designed the tattoo version from an old print drawing. I'm told he recently passed over. Yes, I should have recognized his hands, but my brain was fixed on the subject matter. The delicate petals set along the brambles and the thorns. Unexpectedly lovely. I've seen the painting, of course. As a symbol, the old boys was thinking they were England's best. Some of them proved it, but their successors took to advertising, trying to convince themselves, perhaps. True quality never commends itself, Mr. Holmes. Is this your bicycle, Fleming? I don't remember you as the foolhardy type. Certainly not, Mr. Holmes. I'm unsteady enough on my own two legs. Some of them young gentlemen take it out for a turn from time to time. Like your mom? Ooh. The Tudor Rose drew its members from the whole university, didn't it? Indeed, over the years, there have been hundreds of initiates. Do you remember all the Magdalen men? Their names run together now, but I'd recognize most of them. Regrettably, I don't have a name or a face. You're Sherlock Holmes, and I've seen your face. What are these photographs, Fleming? Young gentlemen of Magdalen, Mr. Holmes. I keep the most recent classes on display. Their families seem to enjoy it. I have reason to believe my corpse... Your corpse? Was a Magdalen man and a member of the Tudor Rose.
That's funny.
If he came here after 1860, I probably have him in my albums. Are they bum albums? Could we look through your portraits of the previous classes? But that's more than 2,000 young gentlemen. 100 or more would have joined the Tudor Rose. When I have more information, I'll be back. Very well, Mr. Holmes. Pleasure to see you again, sir. If only there was an album of people's butts.
I can't think of a joke to make.
Penetrating the mysteries of Cambridge can be extremely tedious. I've gained very little beyond confirming the accuracy of Bradshaw's timetable. I had no idea so many students passed through a Cambridge college. We might have come better prepared. That criticism is well deserved. Let's be off. Did we look at this cabinet? I think we did. Some cricket equipment, 2 ancient third-place ribbons, and 2 crumbling photographs litter the bottom of the cabinet. The equipment consists of the stumps, 2 bats, and a ball from the glorious Ashes Test match against Australia. Magdalen alumnus Percival Tipper Cuff bowled superbly for England. He restored the brilliance to the national team, whose reputation had been tarnished by the agonizing debacle of 1882. Squadron. Can't open it. Alright, so we need to find a name or more information about... I don't know. We've just time to catch the next train to London. Fine, but there will always be another train. Maybe now we go here? Look at the hat pin. Look in the trash. Oh, maybe now we can go light up the steps.
That's... Wow, I just realized, like, we didn't think it was important enough to bother turning on the flashlight that we already had with us, but we thought it was okay going to another town over.
Well, we wouldn't do it because he's still standing here. Because he's here.
Well, that wasn't directly the reason. Like, he expressed like he had no interest in helping them with this because who cares?
Kind of, but it was more like he didn't want to do his job for him, and maybe he didn't. But we should clearly care, regardless. We like if we didn't care, we wouldn't even be here. You know?
Yeah, you're not wrong. Maybe you should try to light on it anyway, see what happens.
McBain says Deckel. Or Deck Cal.
Is McBain Canadian?
Does he say Deck Cal? That's different than Deckel, right? Deckel. Decal. So, still not this. Maybe the telegraph again? I don't know. Or maybe we go back to our flats and we get a knock at the door. I don't feel like I'm sleuthing.
I am reserving judgment because it's possible we just need to find a connection in one of these homes, to Cambridge.
We'll start with Sherlock's Holmes. No knocks. Burder, 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 burder. Any suspicious persons hanging about, Jonas? Witnessed any dubious activities? None but the usual suspects, Mr. Holmes. As for questionable actions, I received a tip from Old Lady Simpkins, the first in at least a decade. Oh? Wait, what was that?
Oh, a tip in the sense of like a tip.
Oh. Okay. Not an informative tip.
Yeah, I was just confused for a while.
It's like, oh, and then we can go to Old Lady Simpkins' place and ask her for a tip. I guess we can go here again? I don't know. Have we tried giving him a card? We did give him a card. I thought. Suggestions, Watson? Still the corpse? Okay. Maybe we go and talk to Lestrade? Nope. Do you think he might want some updates on the case he put us on? So he doesn't even know about the rose tattoo. The rose
That's a
tattoo.
good point.
It's like, we haven't told him. Maybe the coroner told him? I don't know.
Now the coroner hasn't started the inquest yet, for some reason.
Right, they didn't set a date. It's like
That's
Thursday
like
something.
Thursday. Yeah.
Hmm. Do we know anyone else connected to Cambridge? This is locked. This could be a book of butts.
So this place. Oh, yeah.
We can't go speak
Seems
to him
shut
again.
off, and
Yeah.
and we've already communicated with one of them, so we've started this path. What's going on with the place with the toy train or whatever it was?
It was just there. There's no new dialogue with the butler.
Okay. And nothing on the walls that would indicate Cambridge.
No.
Can't go further right?
No.
So weird. Scrolling is too much work. It would make sense if if his place had something to indicate, but I feel like we would have seen it by now. Although, if we check the wardrobe again, maybe now we'll mention, hey, he has all these cravats.
Can't
Okay.
open it.
Hmm.
We've been able to make the connection, but we can't find a way to get Holmes to make the connection.
Yeah.
The original tattoo artist for the rose died, so now they're coming to this guy. So, and we know that. Must be it. There isn't another, like, thing that sneakily popped up on the map, is there? There is, I wonder if it's the same artist? No. The tattoo artist that died, could he be connected to the artist that worked on this portrait gallery? Altered by a fine artistic hand. I don't know what we're looking for. We're looking for something, some information about the victim that can help us find him in an album. There's an album in this place, but it's locked shut. I wonder if it's the same kind of, I don't know. That would be helpful.
That's a good point. I wasn't really clicking on that, but yeah.
And it's not like we can ask to open it or anything.
Hmm.
We need to identify the victim. It seems like that's why we were going to Cambridge, though, is to identify the victim. But what sort of information can help us? I don't know. This hints at like forcing the clasp open. Do we have a tool that could do that? A key. Mints. Lozenges. Pebbles. Pipe. Suggestions, Watson. Perhaps we should... corpse. Of corpse.
It's so weird. Like, it's probably the body of oh crap, Tommy.
I don't think it's his body. I think he's the artist.
Well, let's just say it could be or could not be, but there's obviously a connection.
Yeah. Oh, You are a thief, Needham. British justice takes a dim view of robbing the dead. Get stuffed. I found them items. If you compel me, I'll have you stripped and searched.
Really?
The watch. Easy now. There was little enough. A watch and chain, a half-crown, and 3 pennies. Why couldn't we do this before? Unless you'd prefer a cell at Pentonville, it had better be. What you took is of less interest to me than what you know. I mean, you know harm, but I intend to know all the things you know about this crime. How do I know you're playing straight with me? You have my word. A sign of good faith would be more convincing. The imitation gold-plated watch was not proof against the water. There was condensation beneath the crystal. Judging by the condition of the last link of chain, an ornamental fob was forcibly separated from it recently. So we can give the watch to him as a sign of good faith? Hey, you can just take it. Keep the things you found, Needham. I can't approve your action, but I won't condemn it either. That's friendly. I think... Ta? Ta. Huh? I'd like you to return with us to the embankment. Will you do that? I've given up everything I have. I think not. I want to hear exactly what you witnessed at the Needle in situ. Maybe I'd do better with the coppers. You may think so. I couldn't comment. I promise to be fair. There's no other way. I'll go. You're a gentleman until you proves otherwise. We can take my berry. Oh, now he's gone. We're waiting for Watson to get in position, by the way.
Yeah, I feel like that happens a lot. Oh wow, like I just click like, oh, that's just so weird. All right, why is he so? How is he wobbling back and forth so much without rocking the boat? Sorry, there was so much weird stuff going on that was taking me a while to like process what was the weirdest.
The answer is ballast. The boat is much bigger than it looks because a lot of it's underwater.
It's bigger on the underside.
It's bigger on the other side. Do you often tie up on the embankment, Mr. Needham? And it's tied up. Do you often tie up? I haven't got the habit yet, and there's nothing of value on land for me, but I like the needle. Interesting to look at, to think about. Okay. Didn't we bring him here to talk to him? Bam, ba-da. Shiny discs and buttons.
Watch it be like a Cambridge button.
The disc appears to be silver or platinum. It may be a commemorative medal or watch fob. The inscription engraved on its soft, polished surface is illegible through long wear. The writing may have once been gold-filled. This could be instructive, very promising. We have to do tests on it, probably. A short segment of unraveling black thread is attached to the button, which appears to be made of tortoiseshell. A mass-produced button is less informative than its custom-made predecessor, but it might mean something to Stitch Rumsey. You'll wear out your welcome with him. You don't even know the provenance of that piece. Stitch Rumsey. Have we met a Stitch Rumsey?
I was wondering the same thing.
It's probably a new place. Can we?
Look at the hook one more time.
Yeah, can we pick up the hook now? Okay.
Like, surely he must have something to say, because it's going to be really irritating if we're not allowed to use a light on the stairs unless someone else happened been there because the on-duty officer had a phobia of vagrants.
In this light, I can't do much better than the Cretinous Constable. We found 2 pieces of evidence. You could do better on hearsay. Perhaps, but there's no need to rely on his eyes. There's some writing on the fob, but I can't make it out. You need better light. I'll need a good hit. A good bit more than that. I'll need a good hit. Alright. Can we just leave? Just leave him here? In his little dinghy?
I mean, in theory, we. Oh,
Holmes, we've put Needham through more than a bit of bother. He didn't ask to accompany us. Your behavior is most capricious. Forgive me, Mr. Needham. I seem to have lost my concentration. We can't do anything else with him. Are we supposed to ride his stupid boat back to... Why did we bring him here?
that's a good question.
It's like, oh, I want to talk to you in situ at the crime scene. Come with us. Okay, we'll take my boat. Doesn't say a word. Do we have to, like, show him something? Like, oh, this is part of the watch? I don't know what we're doing here. The phlegmatic Needham is indifferent to the murder scene. Events on land hold little interest for him. He scans the river for his next pickings. He's not heartless, rather a resigned indigent trying to make his way in the world. Are we stuck here?
Well, that would, in a way, be good because it would imply that there was actually something to do.
But there doesn't appear to be something to do. That's what bothers me. We can't talk to him or anything.
So, what were the verbs for the fob that we found the disc?
Look.
And what about for the button?
Look.
Okay. And what about for the hook?
Use, which we just, like, stir the water a little bit. We can't even do that anymore, can we? Oh, we can.
We might have to do it 3 times.
Ford the river. It's a failed fording. Hey, Bosku.
Hey, Basku. Give him a mint.
Give him a light. Yeah, I tried to give him a mint.
Right.
Eh.
Can you show him the signet?
Nope.
You missed the butt, Basku. Can we put the light at a different height?
Every time you click on it, it walks up the stairs all the way.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
Is Buttspot around? I haven't seen Buttspot in a while. Yeah, Buttspot should be here. Examine the stairs. With the light on it. Nothing different. Okay.
Apparently responding to Buttspot is like trying to do an ARP spoof on a modern operating system.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know how I thought that was going to make sense. When your
What are we...
computer...
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say,
No, it
what are we
doesn't matter.
doing here?
Yeah.
We can't even give him money. Doesn't like money.
Fine.
Yeah, I like money though.
Watson, you have anything new to say? Just 3 dudes hanging out at the old obelisk?
You know what I really like in a game?
Hanging out at
When
the old
we're-
obelisk?
Yes, but besides that... Wait, what did you pick? Oh, I just laughed. No, slowly walking up and down the stairs.
Oh, is it slow? I didn't notice.
Can you light the hook or the water?
Oh, I was gonna say, can we put the light on the hook and hold it over something? I'll take anything. Just...
Yeah, they did mention splatters on the wall, so like, can you light the side, like the embankment itself?
I tried.
Okay.
Oh, they're odd stains now. Do I have to put the light back down? Ugh. It's a pixel. It's a pixel hunt.
That is definitely pixel. Have we called that yet? I feel like we
Probably.
did for this game.
I think we did.
Yeah, we did. This is a very pixel hunty game. Except in a sense it's not, because it's not like there's like one little dot you have to look very careful on. It's, well, actually no, typical pixel hunting they don't draw it. Yeah, it is. All right, and now they're blood stains.
Wasn't there an examine button? Did,
Well,
wait, did we do it? Did it do it already and that's done?
It's blood stains with light and odd stains without light.
Mm-hmm.
But like, can we somehow collect a sample?
Maybe now we can talk to him about it? Yes, okay. You witnessed a murder here, Mr. Needham. Tell me everything. No prevarications, please. It's a habit, and I got reasons. I don't mind saying I'm frightened, Mr. Holmes. These was cold customers. I'll keep your part in this a secret, Needham. Just tell me the truth. I'll take you at your word. I just tied up at the needle to rest. Been sculling for hours with nothing to show for it. I'm about to climb the stairs when a voice says, I'll take whatever you got. Oh, damn it. I might have a pound in my wallet. I'll look. Well, I think that's all right then, and I'm about to show myself when the second voice says, Vincent, what are you doing? And there's an explosion in the man's face. I was gonna say, it was 2 gunshots. Okay, they did it. And then another. My head's ringing. A body tumbles into the river. I'm shaking, but I peek around the wall. A third man on the landing towers over a bloke holding a pistol. I hide again. Du bist wahnsinnig? What does that mean? Oh, what was that?
Oh.
Was that the pistol?
Yeah.
So we can find the murder weapon with the hook.
That's
Maybe.
conveniently right there.
Yeah. There's a few hard words, a slap, a scrape, and a splash. Then footsteps moving away. Oh no, it crashed.
Well,
I did just save. Isn't it lucky that I just saved?
Yep. Does that count as a glitch? We didn't break the game. It broke itself. That's kind of always true.
Yeah, the game broke itself.
Dead go! Found on MTV!
I think I'll count that just because.
Okay. Wish there were just a screen where you could just load. Alright, we gotta do this again. Wait. There it is. Hopefully it's not like a every time kind of crash.
Yeah, that would be annoying.
Odd stains. Look. Blood stains. Oh, yeah, let me just read that. I didn't read it before. Even in uncertain light, a distinctive sheen is visible. The clumsy Gaiacum test would decisively identify it as blood. Spattering appears against the right wall and viscous splodges on the 6th and 12th steps. Yeah. Gaiacum. What is Gaiacum?
I don't know.
You witnessed a murder here. We get to do this again. Hopefully it doesn't crash. I'll take whatever you got. Oh, I think here's something dodgy. A robbery, maybe. But right away, different voice says. Blah, blah, blah. Vincent. Explosion. He took his face off.
It's kind of what it looks like.
And then German dude. Du bist wahnsinnig. What does it mean? There's a few hard words, a slap, a scrape, and a splash, then footsteps moving away. They left a hat behind too? That's it, Mr. Holmes, for true. I went to fetch the body before it got swept downstream.
I feel like we should save right here. Yeah.
Tell me about the argument after the shots. What exactly did you hear? Du bist wahnsinnig. Anyone know German? Du bist wahnsinnig. You are mad, my child? Are you insane? Are you crazy? A strange voice said something odd like dubious fancy, and then a sound like clapping hands, a clank, and a scrapping sound. Quick like, and a splash in the corner opposite the bow. the bow of my wherry, then footsteps moving away. Dubious fancy.
I think dubious fancy is supposed to be the dubious Vonsenegg.
Yeah, okay. Dubious fancy.
So now can we use the pole? Oh, still more dialogue.
What do you recall about the men you saw? I never seen the victim's face, and when I picked him up, his face was gone. The killer wore a dark coat and hat, collar up, had hard eyes. The third bloke came out of the light. I saw him a little, big hat and a cape. Yellow beard and some sort of mark on his right cheek. Thank you, Mr. Needham. Can I be on my way then? Some good pickings out there. Just a bit longer. You're an invaluable witness, very observant. I make my living with my eyes. What do your special eyes see? Could you find the object that made the splash, Mr. Needham? Water and me don't agree, Gov. I don't swim. Don't even wade. Don't drink it. Hardly bathe in it. I've noticed. You won't need to get wet. I want your guidance. Just tell me where you heard the splash. How bad do you need it? A guinea's worth. It's as good as found. If you got the means, I got the will. Well, how will we ever find something in the water? Be specific, Mr. Needham. We're looking for a critical piece of evidence. It's deep in the corner, close to the wall. I'd swear to it.
We probably have to click in the right spot. Oh, or not. We'll just hit use, right. See, we had this idea a while ago, but we hadn't...
Was it floating?
Apparently. This water is very polluted. It basically has a pudding skin on top.
Now I want pudding.
Now I want skin.
Good job, Needham. Your eye is incomparable. Nasty things wet, Mr. Holmes, but dangerous for all that, I'll wager. You got anything else to say? Nope. Okay, let's take pistol. Fire? Well, I'm gonna need that money back. The pistol's ammunition was apparently not equal to the penetrating power of the Thames. It will dry. Were ballistic science more developed and its evidence more respected, a case might be made to identify this as the murder weapon. Alas, the science is in its infancy, and the spent bullets are unavailable. But maybe we can threaten somebody with it. Thank you for your help, Mr. Needham. I hope we have no need to trouble you further. Okay.
Made some actual progress. Finally. Progress we should have had already because we already figured it out, but whatever.
All right, see you later.
So in theory, we should be able to bring the gun to the cops, which we probably won't. We might be able to do something with the button. They mentioned someone, didn't we?
Do we have a new place?
Yeah, there's a tailor to the left side.
Oh yeah, there it is. Rumsey's Haberdashery.
I thought that was a hattery.
Yeah, he probably does hat stuff too. But yeah, this is not hats specifically. This is, in fact, I don't see any hats. Do you?
Well, she's wearing a hat.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe she's for sale.
Well, I was thinking it's the kind of place where you bring your own hats in. It's like a reverse haberdashery.
How about a haberdashery?
Ah, yes.
A slotted shelf displays bolts of lustrous silks, soft merinos, translucent taffetas, sprigged muslin, delicate organdy, tweeds, and velvets. Even the most demanding patron will find cloth to please her society, if not herself. Giggity. This long counter serves as a cutting out table. Scattered in profusion are all of the tailor's tools and patterns. It is apparent that that work is plentiful. Shop. Only the possession of excess funds like links Rumsey's diverse clients, captains of industry, entertainers, and bon vivants delight in his costumes and conventional clothing. Uncommonly, he sews for both men and women.
Bon vivants, that's not a term you hear very often.
It's because normally it's pronounced bon vivants.
Oh, good point.
Mm-hmm. A hand-operated Wilson sits on Stitch's desk. Part of Rumsey's cachet is that he can often be found doing fine finishing work at his personal machine. In society, the mania for costume balls is unrestrained. Never too proud to associate with common taste, Stitch displays a popular Lord Nelson ensemble. 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 Columbine, Harlequin, Marie Antoinette, and their ilk are in the back. Mannequins. 2 dummies are draped with ice cream. Furbelows bedeck gowns whose tiny waists demand the armor of whalebone corsets. Steel hoops have replaced horsehair crinolines. The exaggerated effect is still extremely silly. Large framed mirrors are positioned to give the amplest ladies and gentlemen a full view of themselves in their sartorial splendors. Okay. Stitch perfected his art at Pentonville while doing a stretch for counterfeiting. He turned his eye to honest work, if selling a shirt for 2 guineas can be so called, and is the most skillful bespoke tailor on Jermyn Street. Part artist, part costumier, he caters to a discriminating clientele. Rigged in tartan wool and an ermine-trimmed cloak, the lady needs sartorial counseling. Individually, her garments are unexceptionable. In combination, they are horrid. Her pinched expression might be carved. Ermine. I beg your pardon, madame. Might I have a brief word with Mr. Rumsey? No, Mr. Rumsey is not free. Well, how much is he?
I mean, we have a gun.
If you might spare me a moment, Stitch, I would appreciate it. Right away, Mr. Holmes. I'm just finishing up with Mrs. Rowbottom. I'll tell you when we are finished, Mr. Rumsey. I'm paying good money, and I expect no less than your undivided attention. Seduce her, Watson.
I still say we have a gun.
What is that racket, Watson? The treadles of sewing machines, I imagine. I mean the voices. Can you not appreciate the dulcet tones of the Orient, Holmes? My pedestrian mind cannot appreciate what it cannot understand. I won't respond to that. If I didn't know better, I'd swear you were fishing for compliment. I'll grow gray before Mrs. Rowbottom is satisfied.
Watson seduces.
Watson, satisfy her. Claim pressing business, national emergency, and so on. Worthless. I know her type. Obstinate as a mule. A pointed threat might remove her recalcitrance. Like a gun. Watson, you surprise me. Besides, have you not remarked the size of her handbag? Who knows what she has in there? I decided on a strategy to shift La Rowbottom. A subterfuge, then? But not too subtle, I hope. It would be lost on her. She appears to be a woman whose sense of propriety may be vulnerable to judicious tweaking. Follow my lead. Try not to be too offensive. She's Rumsey's customer, after all. Have you chosen a fabric for one of Rumsey's incomparable suits? In my dreams, Holmes. The practice won't support one at the moment. Perhaps when we're famous. Among the costumes, the hero of Trafalgar seems a popular choice. Wow. One wonders if the jacket comes sans right sleeve. Perhaps an eye patch may be let. All right. The fabric in your frock has become a favorite of the demi-monde. Half-world? You've seen it elsewhere? Indeed. Watson, did we not recently see this particular material at the Chelsea Burlesque? Chelsea. West of Chelsea, all mothers. That young woman whom Bingo Oakshott insists on calling his protege was draped in it. A dress, wasn't it? What there was of it. You disremember her dress, but she had it on so briefly. No, it was the drawing room curtains which she wore as a shawl. Or was it a towel from the loo? Good day to you, madame. That door shutting sound. It reminds me of AOL Instant Messenger. All we need now is a door opening squeak. Button. The button. What can your practiced eye tell me about this button, Stitch?
My name is Lilo.
I'm sure you know it's tortoiseshell. Has a continental finish, Dutch maybe. The thread is nothing special. Sewn to a coat, I'd say. Not off the peg. Custom made, but not too dear. Available locally? Not here, and I've got the largest inventory in England. Help yourself if you need one. Are there just like buttons laying around? Oh, buttons. A veritable cornucopia of buttons are contained in a large open oakwood box. The base of the box is divided by balsa wood strips into tens of small compartments. Handmade and machine-turned buttons of bone, wood, ivory, shell, and every other description are stored in them. Pick up. Okay, did we get a tortoiseshell button?
Why would we want one?
This is the same music that plays at Thomas Pratt's, or it's close. One of Stitch's machine-turned buttons would make a fine tiddlywink. We're looking for like a fresh version of this old button, I think. Okay. I guess we're done here?
Do we have anything else we could show?
We have the watch fob, but I don't think we're showing that to him. I think we're going to run tests on it. Figure out what the writing was. Or we could put it under the microscope, maybe? Do we have a microscope in this game?
Do we?
We
If
did
so,
it.
that makes sense.
We had a slide microscope in the last game.
We also have a dropper of acid, and that actually wouldn't be a weird way to
Hmm.
expose more of the writing. But microscope seems more likely.
I think it was like etching with gold filled into it was the...
Hmm.
I don't know. Let's see what we can do. Any new dialogue from Wiggins? I have a mission for you, boy. Small chance of success, but the game is worth the candle. You like candles, don't you, boy? Nice to be needed, sir. What's the job? Find a man, thick-set, tall, fair, and bearded. Perhaps a blemish on one cheek. Maybe wearing a dark cape and slouch hat over country clothes. A gentleman? Eye color? Age? Habits? Unobserved. Confine your efforts to Trafalgar and the embassies, and be careful. At the very least, he keeps dangerous company. Look for a German man.
Isn't his beard blonde?
Ah. Have you seen Wiggins? Have you seen Wiggins, Jonas? Isn't he here? I see so little these days. Likely he's out parading the streets. Or is he on a job for you? One of the boy's many qualities is that he barely distinguishes work from play. Okay. Recommendations, Watson? Nothing material, Holmes. I'm sorry. Despite your best efforts, I've understood little of what I've seen or heard. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let's take a minute to undress. And then put on our house clothes. Analyze. Analyze. The microscope can't do better than my eye. The gold is old, thin, and smeared. You might want to open the window, Watson. If you're going to use acid on the metal, please take care. You remember what happened last time. Very unsettling to hear a woman of advanced years yell that loudly. Alright, we are going to use an acid. Which one? There's nitric and hydrochloric. Maybe hydrochloric?
Suspect it won't matter, but sure. Doesn't seem like he did it, so we can try the other one first. All right. Do we have like a dropper, maybe? Maybe use the glass.
Ah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't want to just dump acid on the table.
Eh. Why are we using this much acid? A small bit of vapor ought to be enough. We could heat up if you want to really speed this up. I wonder if that's enough to be able to put it on the microscope, or if we need to like dilute it with water now.
It's not actually there.
Or maybe neutralize the acid with a base if there's one.
Let's test the acid with the litmus paper. Alright, what's our base?
The hydroxide might be a base.
Now what, Watson?
Oh, that's Goofy's the sounds of maybe either the magnifying glass if we can pick it,
It doesn't work.
or okay, or the dish.
I think that also doesn't work.
Okay. Huh. What else would we do?
Just dump anything in there. Both acids.
Oh. Okay, we're using aqua regia.
Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Magnifying glass. It says, be sure to drink your Ovaltine. The Aqua Regia removed the gold fill very nicely. The engraving is visible. The inscription reads, to commemorate your majority, 23-6-76. If our victim was a Cambridge man, he probably entered in 74. Okay, we got it down to a year. All right. Watson, clean this up. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I would be perfectly content if they missed the minor detail of having them change every time.
Yeah.
Oh, it adds to the immersion though, right? They're like
So
real,
does a blender.
real people.
Doesn't.
So we could go immediately to Cambridge again, or we could investigate more of this button situation.
Yeah, I don't have an idea for the button though.
Let's go to Cambridge. Hello, Fleming. Our boy probably came to college for Michaelmas term. Michaelmas? Do you celebrate Michaelmas?
No.
No. 1874. Let me consult my book.
Apparently Michaelmas is September 29th.
Oh. Ah, yes, 1874. A rum class. Bright, no question, but rum. What does that mean?
No idea.
Anybody there who later joined the Tudor Rose? Let's see. There's Dundalk, the Earl's youngest boy.
Comment.
Died in the Transvaal, I heard. And Lawton. He's a lord since his pater passed on. And MP, I believe. Lawton. Oh yes, his special friend was Pratt, an orphan. Came to us from India. Strange boy in Cunard. He's making his fortune in Australia. That's all I think. Finally, a lead to Pratt. Thank you, Fleming. Very helpful. A pleasure, sir.
And who's Lawton again?
Lawton is the other guy that was like playing billiards.
Yeah. So like, and I'm assuming that the other name is the other guy.
Possibly. I don't remember his name.
So basically, the guy who was killed was one of the three guys that were looking.
Yeah. Pratt and Lawton together. This is too terrible to be a coincidence, Watson. Our corpse is the ex-Thomas Pratt. I'm certain of it. Is it, though? It could be that Pratt tattooed his friend, who was... Oh, no, it's not Lawton. It could be the other guy who has the kid.
Well, that may or may not be the third person, but yeah, it's still possible. Right. But yeah, still, it is like, what are the chances?
Mm-hmm. If you say so, Holmes, I'm a bit baffled. Cambridge can reveal no more about the present case. We can just make the next train to London. I wish to see Pratt's effects, and then we'll carry the bad news to Lord Lawton. Okay. I think we're to assume that Holmes doesn't know about the needle yet, or the pin.
Yeah.
Even though we looked at it 100 times. I'm afraid I carry some deplorable news. Mr. Pratt has been murdered. How extremely vexing. I wonder if he's remembered me in his will. He's 6 months behind in the rent. You'll have to absorb that cost. He's paid a higher price. This is very inconvenient. Mr. Mason always said I was too kind for this world. I'm sure he was a flawless judge of character. Might we look at Mr. Pratt's effects? It can make no difference to the deceased. As you're not the police, I think not. Even the defunct have some right to privacy. There may be personal items about. Of a marketable nature, perhaps.
Well, we do have this stuff on us showing that... Oh,
That's true. Are you familiar with any of Mr. Pratt's haunts, clubs, saloon bars, salons, and such? No, his leisure activities are a mystery to me. There was his painting, of course. The flat lacks its own bathtub. Where did he perform his weekly ablutions? He had rights to one in the basement, but he preferred Neville's in Charing Cross. No doubt a reprobate's delight. All manner of dissipation and depravity are likely to be served with the soap and water. I am unfamiliar with that particular pleasure palace. Could you identify Pratt for the police if requested? I should think so. He lived here for more than 3 years. I know his face as my own. But could you recognize him without reference to his face? You know, like his butt. No. But why would I be asked to do that? Well, you have an imagination, right? Do you know anything about Pratt's years at Cambridge? Nothing, but he was a university man, that's for certain. I only let rooms to that sort of person. Did Mr. Pratt have any special friends? Only Mr. Spacemaker, but I haven't seen him in more than a month. Spacemaker? Yes, unusual name, isn't it? Peculiar young man, and as pretty as any girl. Okay. Do you have a likeness of Mr. Pratt in your flat that we might borrow? We did not have that kind of relationship, Mr. Holmes. What kind is that? You know very well what kind. The kind that exchanges personal photographs. We were not intimate friends. No one could prove that charge. Look at the hat pin. Alright, so we did unlock a new place. Sounds like. Will there be a reward in it, Mr. Holmes? Good deeds are their own reward, ma'am. Neville's baths. Is that a hookah? It is a hookah. How can I help you, gentlemen? I was just over here lifting weights. Rough, loose piled terry towels and white bath sheets are stacked on the counter. Smell them. There are certainly more rank odors, but it is revolting to discover mildew in towels. I'm certain the authorities would deem it less than hygienic. In careless or unwitting hands, these contraptions have a tendency to explode. Even the experienced can be surprised by the device's volatility. Shake it. Bloop, bloop. Are you trying to kill us? Those devices can explode at any time for no reason at all. Shaking them just increases the odds. Are they really dangerous to shake?
That's a good question. Shake it more.
The portrait depicts a mythic caliph bathing at a desert oasis. Perhaps the antique Ottoman is a kind of patron saint of bathhouses. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Maybe we can increment the death counter. Boiling water circulates through cast iron radiators to heat the room. The water vaporizes, condenses, returns to the boiler to be reheated to form steam. The heat is transferred by air currents. Adjust. The gentleman will get a chill. Please turn the valve. What's the difference between look and examine anyway?
Look just gives us a description. Examine is an act that Sherlock Holmes himself does.
Only Sherlock can do it. Hot and wet,
Yeah.
a perfect breeding ground for mold. For mould. Pasteur would doubtless pay for samples of the captive bacteria. His institute deals only in virulent and contagious forms, neither of which this is. Perhaps what you want to deny it is disgusting. The poorly executed, crumbling faux marble version of Praxiteles' masterpiece, The Athlete at His Bath, is justly ignored by all.
Anvil.
Hey, Anvil. You missed the butt.
This is true.
The attendant's features mark him as an experienced pugilist. His snug clothing reveals a heavily muscled physique. The tattooed bluebirds on his biceps announce that he has crossed the equator as a seaman. Like others of his ilk, he may receive gratuities for protecting his patron's privacy.
You also missed someone getting shot in the face a couple times.
Yep. I believe Thomas Pratt was a patron of these premises. Or a patron, not sure which. When did you see him? When did you last see him? Adrian Russell at your service. Was you thinking of joining us here at Neville's? I can make you a handsome introductory offer. I don't want to be an introductory offer. We'd like a private word about Pratt. What are the chances? At Neville's, his privacy is my business. Giggity. Who are the men on the drying couches, Mr. Russell? Haven't a clue. You don't recognize your clientele? Quack. I know a nosy Parker from a paying customer. The premises seem lightly attended. What amenities are available here? We have an exercise room, a steam bath, modern individual steam cabinets, and 2 invigorating cold water plunges. You could do worse. We should like to see the baths. Baths are baths. There are several members back there, au naturel. They don't appreciate intruders. Perhaps we will become members, Russell. It looks a decent enough place. Sound thought. Put some color in your frog belly complexion, improve your muscle tone, and you get to meet a nice class of person. All for a modest cost. I'll get the paperwork, shall I? Of course, we need to inspect all the facilities. Fine, but as I've said, don't pester the clients, and the baths are not available to you at the moment. I'm not impressed with your choice of tobacco. The patrons don't complain, or the patrons. Perhaps the smell conceals some other scent. Perhaps you are encouraging some less savory activities here. Leave off. What about a membership? Don't you'd like to join? Or think you'd like to join? When I decide I want to spend my leisure conversing with dunces while smoking bad tobacco and acquiring pestiferous skin ailments, you'll be informed. Have you ever considered fumigating this place? It couldn't help but improve the atmosphere. Members appreciate the traditional bouquet of odors. Most find comfort in familiar scents. You would also in time. Not if I lived 1,000 years. Pillow. The decorator must have thought these cylindrical pillows stylish and functional, but he ignored the consequences of covering them with heavy brocade. Once wet, a Thames-side dock in winter would dry more quickly. Move the pillow. Do 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 do. Just a modicum of your garden variety muck. What does this place have against regular applications of soap and water? Polished cedarwood chaises provide recumbent relaxation. They permit a measure of comfort, but only a narcoleptic could fall asleep here. Path patrons. Where are we going? Can't we observe down there? Two bathers have retreated from the baths to recover their strength. Heat is enervating and may be dangerous even to those accustomed to its effects. A traditional Turkish pipe is supplied for the pleasure of the patrons. As the smoke passes through perfumed water, it is cooled and a few of its noxious properties are dissipated. Smell it. Now we gotta go down there and up and down and up and down.
I mean, like, what's the alternative? Moving at a normal human speed, just hopping down, be able to smell from up there because he's not getting very close. I mean, none of these are remotely plausible.
Yeah, I never considered it. The thought never occurred to me.
Yeah.
One hopes that Neville's attends to its other amenities better than it does to tobacco. A pound of this poor North African mixture could be purchased from any Piccadilly tobacconist for $1. We can't talk to the patron. Oh, we can talk to this one? Are either of you gentlemen acquainted with Mr. Thomas Pratt? Don't believe I've had the pleasure. Have you, Dickie? No, I'm quite certain. Now Sprat I've heard of. Peculiar eating habits as I recall, but Pratt no. No Pratt tucked away in the old grey matter, I'm afraid. Nice chap, is he? A Neville's man and that sort of thing, what? Moron. Perhaps the heat has addled his brain. More likely he's simply stupid. If these dolts are representative of the new generation of civil servants, Watson, the country is in trouble. Do you recall anything about Mr. Thomas Pratt or his associates? No, but it appears we should. There was a chap in here earlier asking for him. Seems to be a popular fellow, Dickie. How is it we don't know him? I don't know. Anything else around? Let's saunter back over here. I'm now ready to inspect the baths, Russell. No, you're not. You've no intention of joining up. Listen, you muscle-bound twit. Neville's is in violation of numerous tenets in the Code of Public Health. Mold, mildew, and common filth are rampant. Let us pass, or I'll report these unsanitary outrages forthwith, and you'll be out of business by this evening. You made your points. I try to keep it clean, but there's too much for one person to do. Can't find any decent help. I'll accompany you. Don't be bothering my clients. Oh, we might see some butts.
Yeah.
With tattoos. You can't walk about unsupervised, mister. The name is Holmes, Mr. Russell, and I not only can, I have done. Okay. One of the bath's ubiquitous white cotton towels is twisted around the bather's head like a turban. The cloth helmet conceals his face. Wait. Is he invisible? I didn't know there was a person there.
Oh no. I think what that is one of those really old timey things where like
it's a cabinet. It's a cabinet.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I definitely don't mostly know those from maybe Futurama.
Okay.
So can you move the towel?
Maybe. You have been singularly unhelpful, Russell. Do you know nothing of Pratt? Ain't seen him in days. Now, no more liberties on my patch. I got a reputation to protect. In a moment. How about Eldridge Whitney? Does he use these premises? No. What's in the steam cabinet, Russell? Or who's in the steam cabinet? What's in the box? One of my regulars. Don't be bothering him. Very important man in the government. I'm sure he is. What's his name? His name's none of your business. Excuse me, sir. I said he's not to be disturbed. Who's in the steam room? I couldn't see a bloody... We haven't even been in there. Nothing to do with Pratt. No need to disturb them. Should I take your word, Russell? You haven't proved particularly trustworthy. Wait for them to come out, then. Life is short, Russell. I don't wait well. Then again, the heat's unbearable in there. It's hotter than jockey's britches in here. Regular perspiration cleans the system. So does a high colonic. I try to avoid both. All right. Let's move the towel. Beg your pardon, Mr. Whitney, sir. As for you, that tears it. Bloody foreign tricks. Get me out of this muck. Bar-jitsu is hardly a trick, Mr. Russell. Watson, make certain Mr. Russell remains aquatic. I've had enough of his interference. With pleasure, Holmes.
We pull out the gun and shoot him.
Nope. All right. Chinless and tending to fat, this young man sits like a beluga whale in a steam cabinet. His hooded eyes are partially closed as rivulets of sweat pour down his face. It is not possible to say whether he is enjoying himself. A fortuitous meeting, Mr. Whitney. I am Sherlock Holmes. After you've replaced my towel, you might ask if I care. Considering your position, Whitney, you might curb your impertinence long enough to discover my purpose. Your purpose is of no interest. If you continue to harass me, I will take steps. Naked and enervated? Excuse me, but I doubt your capacity for action. I haven't seen that show, Naked and Enervated. As your attendant is occupied, let's talk about the formula missing from your reading room. That is a ministry matter. You have no claim to my cooperation. And your brother's obvious indiscretion may be actionable. My brother's judgment is not likely to be challenged. Yours, on the other hand. Save your threats. They are ignorant and rude. I speak only on the authority of my superiors, of whom you are not one. At the moment, you are not accused, Whitney. I am simply trying to gather information. You'll get none from me. I know my rights and my duties. I'll ask you once to consider your intransigence. You waste your breath. No, my speech perhaps. My patience certainly. Mr. Brother. Mr. Brother nearly killed, and you stand on some inflated idea of your own importance. You fatuous twit. We'll see whose breath is wasted.
Wrong who's, but okay.
Mr. Brother.
Huh.
Could July on the Ubangi be any more unpleasant than this? Heat appeals to many persons, Holmes. Laplanders might be happy for the change, I suppose, but only masochists would find it pleasant. Is anyone whose preferences are at variance with your own, by definition, aberrant? Being the supreme arbiter of right thinking and behavior is a terrible burden, Watson. An awesome responsibility. I am pleased your sense of humor has not deserted you completely. The heat encourages Whitney's bluster. I'd like to find his boiling point. Besides antagonizing him, what can you do? Put his feet to the fire. How? Apply more pressure, Watson. Oh, excellent idea, Holmes. Quite diabolical. Are we going to turn the boiler up on him? Isn't this torture?
Yes.
Torture! A cast iron boiler supplies steam to heat the baths and cabinets. Somewhere in the bowels of the building, a coal heaver must feed an insatiable furnace.
It might be like a separate valve to the left, maybe.
Oh, there's a
There it
okay.
goes.
There's a valve. The valve adjusts temperature by controlling the flow of steam. A gauge measures the pressure. A maze of fireproof pipes deliver endurable doses of steam to the various rooms and cabinets. All right, torture. Can we? I don't think we can do the torture. No,
Maybe check the gauge first.
it's not there.
Yep. Can we talk to him one more time?
Can we tell Watson? Nope.
It is past 12 though.
Yeah, this could be a place to leave off. Let's look at the pools real quick. Bathers may cool themselves from time to time in the invigorating plunge baths. Okay, well, we'll turn the heat up next time, I guess. If that's a thing. Let's
Make it a thing.
save.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see what we're going to get into here. We are going to raid Halbert.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. See you next time. See you Monday. Or,
Monday?
sorry, not Monday. Wednesday. See you Wednesday.
Well, hey, you can stream on Monday.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Night.
Night.